Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. A look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast.
Go!
To my left this evening, in the yellow flannel.
Who?
Oh, Steve.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Hey, you're totally hot.
To my further left this evening, in the red flannel, Joe.
Can I bum a smoke?
Across from me, Mr. Clark.
Oh!
Nice.
And I will be your host this evening. Hey, Enano. Did you guys look up the translation?
Yeah.
To that?
No, what is...
It's dwarf.
Yeah, or midget.
Oh, really?
It just calls him that the whole time.
That's
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Oh, man. All right, before we start our episode this evening, we got a word from our sponsor.
You mean Deep Creek Glassworks?
Deep Creek
Glassworks! Since 2013, Deep Creek Glassworks has been making awesome handcrafted... Crafted? Yep.
Crafted They make you glassy McCowlets.
Nailed it. Durable, handcrafted works of art for you and your loved ones. Hey, people, even though it's the holiday today on release day, doesn't mean you still can't get those. Hey, it's in
Check
the
it out for
mail.
the people you forgot.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to ship. There was a supply chain issue, and then you just surprise them. Bam! Awesome looking glass. Ornaments, pendants, glassware, you name it, he'll make it. Yeah, no, we'll just go with that. I was about to say like a glass sword. I don't know if, you know what? Yeah, maybe he would probably try that. That'd be fun.
He made a butt plug. It's not too far off.
Yep, that's fair. That's still sitting on my computer desk. Have to make sure whenever I have video meetings for work that it's not sitting out.
Why not? Spice things up.
Yeah,
Just do it.
exactly.
Not sitting out,
They're
but I
not
am
going to
sitting
say
on it.
anything. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's a power play.
Yeah, exactly.
Asserting dominance over that meeting.
It's a Pico power play.
You know what's even more of a power move? Halfway through the meeting, it's just not there.
But you're like squinting.
I got some strain. So check out their website, Deep Creek Glassworks, work spelled WORX, their Etsy, their Instagram, their Facebook. Just go check out the stuff. And when you do, and when you buy that awesome piece of glass, make sure to use our promo code SUPERFUN so you can receive 10% off of your first purchase, which will be shipped to you in crush-resistant boxes.
For free.
Free shipping.
Man, 10% off. It's like
Yeah.
more than 9.
Yeah. It's like almost more than 8.
Not 9.
It's twice as much as 5.
Whoa. That's like double the deal.
10 times as much as one.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Wow.
They're just giving these away.
Numbers, man. It's numbers. So go check out Deep Creek Glassworks, work spelled WORX, today.
It's like critters running over the microphones. Awesome. Well, before we get into our episode, I want to try to get the plugs in now because I feel like we always like, oh God, we forgot. We throw it in at the end.
We
of the
already
episode.
talked about the
getting
plug.
the plugs in.
Yeah.
But no, $1 a month on our Patreon, patreon.com/superfunpodcast goes a long way in supporting the show.
Yes, thank you, please.
We do have a Discord, and we welcome anybody to join the chat with us anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
Fun
very
time.
stimulating, deep conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes. Stimulating and deep is definitely two words I would use to describe the sort of conversations that are happening
The sort
in
of.
the Discord.
Yeah.
Sort of
The
conversation.
sort of conversations.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. And if you missed it last episode, we did announce
Episode?
the episode. we did announce the winner of our giveaway.
Congratulations, Jason.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
But
Was it Jason?
it was Jason. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We do, just to say how
Memories
successful
shot.
this campaign was, we do plan on doing a lot more of these in the future. So again, hop on the Discord. You'll be able to hear it first when we announce these.
We're giving stuff away.
Yeah, and a big thank you for everybody who participated too. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okie dokie.
boobies.
No.
I wanted to say that.
Nice. Thank you, Steve.
You're
Nipples.
welcome.
All right. Well, we are
Nipples on
following
boobies.
Yep.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they can be there.
Nippleless boobies. They're
Yeah.
the coolest.
Nipple this?
Nippleless.
Nippeless Cage. It's like Face Off, but
Nipples.
Nipples off. God damn it.
Where did my nipples go?
That movie's so fucking good. Love the scene with the doves just in the background.
Yeah.
God damn, it's such a good movie.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry.
No,
Real
no, no, no,
quick,
go
real
ahead.
quick. Steve and I finally watched Guns Akimbo.
did you?
Oh yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah.
Okay, please. We're gonna do a quick
Sorry.
take of that.
That was a really fun movie.
Literally, the part that had us cracking up, I think, the most is when he's like talking to his ex, and she's like, "I don't know if we should see each other," and he's like, instead of explaining or giving her any sort of thing, he's just all of a sudden guns. He's just like, "I got guns on my hands."
They're akimbo, and
Yeah.
then he gets pepper sprayed, and then that's fun.
Yeah. He's just like, "But I can't." There's guns. Like, it's like, what the fuck?
You should have explained that better. But yeah, that was a fun movie.
Man, he signs up
Yeah, it
for
was.
some weird fucking movies.
That's
I'm telling
because he doesn't need money
you.
anymore.
he doesn't.
It's
No.
true.
Yeah, it's true. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, still need to see that.
He's a millionaire, Harry.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to jump into Life is Strange 2 this evening. And as per tradition, we're going to start with our initial impressions. Clark.
Hey, poop.
I loved the first Life is Strange that we played. I was excited to get to this one. I knew it was going to come down the pipeline sooner or later, so I didn't go ahead and just play it after we played the first one. I was happy to see that it was different characters, and I thought it was cool that they continued it in kind of like the Life is Strange universe. It happened not simultaneously, but like in the same area, kind of. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I was really happy to dive in.
Cool. Joe.
I was really pumped to play this, actually. I didn't actually see this one come out. I actually had Life is Strange, the True Colors, was actually more on my radar. So this
Which
one
is the third one.
is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah. So this one totally just passed me by. I thought like True Colors was the second one or whatever. But either way, I was super excited because I loved the last one. So I was very pumped to play it.
Cool. Steven.
Yeah, I'm going to have a totally original thing to say and say that I did really like the first one, so I was looking forward to playing the second.
We were all really positive on Life is Strange.
Yeah, I mean, especially those type of games, it's a completely different feel than, like a hack and slash or shoot 'em up or something where it's really, really narrative based, and especially having the opportunity to have different outcomes. Which I'm curious to see where we all get with that. But I was a little off-put in the very beginning, but then it was like as soon as things started picking up, like after the first hour, like, okay, we're in this, we're doing it. So when you did suggest this for the podcast, I was happy that we weren't going to have to wait longer to get back into one of the Life is Strange games.
I honestly don't have an original thought here. I'm going to basically mimic what you guys said. I love the first one. Very excited to play the second one.
Tool.
The big
Fucking think for yourself, Harry.
yeah, I'm going first for now on.
Poser.
I really did want to cover this full franchise, and it does make me sad that we're kind of skipping over like the Before the Storm. But I did
Right.
kind of want to like really change it. I didn't want to like revisit that. I definitely wanted something like completely new.
Newer
so,
story.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good decision to move on to the second one. That, and I think Before the Storm is only 3 chapters, so it's super short.
Gotcha.
Wholeheartedly think that we're probably going to do the True Colors at some point or another. I saw that as well, but I didn't want to like jump ahead and then jump back kind of thing. We're just going
Right.
to kind of
Yeah.
work our way up the series.
Jump around,
Yep.
jump up, and get down.
Yeah.
Jump.
I jumped
Jump.
too much.
Jump.
I'm going to throw up.
Jump.
All right. Well, why don't we
Jump.
Game development.
Yeah, let's kill a cop and head on into
Jesus Christ.
head on into game development.
Game development.
Game development. All right, so I'm going to rattle off some facts from the wiki page.
All right, you little snake, you.
So this was created by Dontnod Entertainment. Is it a French company?
Don't not.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
So some of the inspirations for this game were like Into the Wild, Of Mice and Men, Stand By Me, On the Road, like all these like groups traveling along the road, and like you can definitely see that.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yes,
Road
exactly.
96.
Yeah, 100%. I did get a lot of like Road 96 vibes
same.
playing this.
It's
stuff.
hard. It's hard not to with like the desert setting and stuff.
And
love
that weird
game.
cabbie.
Such a good
Yeah.
game. So two of the big themes around this game are education and homelessness, which you can kind of see throughout the different chapters of the game. You want to debate that? But no, go for it.
I didn't get the education.
Well, there's a
Like
lot of like
street education.
No,
or
no,
like
no.
What?
A lot of the teaching your younger brother kind of thing, and like the whole morality system around that.
And
I don't know if
also,
that's education. I feel like it's more like just like raising.
well, Sean was
raising
also
a child.
saying it's like you need education. You need to learn. Why do I still need to
He was
do these
he was still
workbooks?
making him do his homework and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I thought those big like teaching or parenting, like put in whatever synonym you want kind of thing for it. But there was like definitely a
Child
transfer of
raising.
knowledge from the older brother to the younger brother.
Yeah.
Direction. Whatever. Pick your word.
Rearing.
Child grooming.
Boobies.
Rearing.
Like rearing your brother.
Roll Tide.
This was on the Unreal Engine 4. Some social issues that were featured in this game: racism, alcoholism, gun violence, and bigotry.
Yeah.
Were prevalent in this game.
Yes, they were.
You don't say.
So when they were creating the endings for this game, they did not want a perfect ending because they thought that it would be unrealistic to have like a true happy ending to this story.
With what happens in this story, there's no happy ending. I feel like I got like the happiest version of what you could probably hope for.
Well, if you
Not
play
me.
if you played a certain way, there was at least one happy ending.
Yes.
It's still not great.
Steve's making a joke about
making it
part of the story. That's
Oh,
fine.
Yeah.
okay.
Cassidy
Got it.
or Finn, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
that
talk
was
about that.
weird.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll get there.
that's definitely a story moment to talk about. So a character that they brought back from the first game was David.
Yeah.
And they brought him back because no matter what ending you got on the first game, David survives the story. So it doesn't break the canon, however which way you went with the first game. But they also tried to stay away from detailing too much of what happened in the first game to keep this as a separate entity and to not kind of ruin the canon in your head that you got, I guess, from
right.
the
Yeah,
first
to have you
Keep
focus
it
on
vague
this.
enough that it still
Yes.
works.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when
So-
it's brought up, you're like, oh, cool. They had a nod to it.
Yes,
And then that
exactly.
was like,
Don't-
the
He's
last
not
two-
the only nod to Arcadia Bay.
Yeah, there's
There's a few.
yeah.
I think it was like the bus ride as well, or they travel by it at some point
With
and-
Brody.
Yeah, there's like a marker
Yes.
on the road. So I thought so one game development thing that I noticed in this that I thought was kind of funny, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure I remember this, but maybe I'm wrong. But I thought the first one was actually really prevalent with how ridiculous the Sony phones and shit like that were in it. And they didn't do that this time, and it kind of threw me off because I was really expecting it.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Where it was all
Like
basically
everything, every electronic device in the first one was like a Sony.
Oh my God, I remember. Yeah, because the chick had an Ericsson, and I was like, no one has a Sony Ericsson phone
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
These
yeah.
don't exist.
Yeah, and they didn't do that this time around. I was like,
Yeah.
It-
Well, you
It was
depending,
fine.
Depending on what you do, you only have a cell phone for like a chapter and a half.
but it was like TVs and like everything. in
Yeah,
the
everything
house.
was Sony. Yeah,
and I
no,
thought that
it's
was
not
kind of like I almost kind of expected it, and when I kept not seeing it, it was like it was almost immersion breaking with how ridiculous it was in the first one. Because I was almost looking for it intentionally in
you
the
were
second
waiting.
one.
You know, they kind of went in some ways the opposite direction. Instead of having brand items, I don't know if you remember the game system that they had in their house in the beginning.
Playbox.
Yeah, the play box. Yeah.
We don't know which one to go with, so we're just going to do both.
They had and then
Playbox 64.
they still the only
Super Playbox 64.
actual IP that I noticed in the game at all was Minecraft.
Yeah, they mention it by name
Several
specifically. Yeah,
there was another.
Daniel loves his Minecraft.
times. Yeah.
There was a reference to The Last of Us too. That
Oh, was there?
the Last of Us also. I
Yes,
should say.
yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, when they were.
Oh, they mentioned the clickers.
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
That was it. It's like, what's that mushroom? Reminds me of like the thing with the clickers, and then Sean just
Yeah. That's right.
knock it off, Sean.
I don't like it.
Yeah. They didn't mention it by name though, but I mean
No.
like if you've played
You
You
know.
know, yeah.
You know.
Well, I think we're definitely ready to hop into story here.
I think so.
Yeah.
So why don't we hit the road and skip school and talk about some story?
Story.
Here we go with the synopsis. Peer pressured. This is the story of the two wolf brothers who were separated from their papa wolf. In the den of the two wolf brothers, their papa was killed by a hunter after arguing with the badger next door. This brought out the younger wolf's power, who would now be known as Super Wolf. This incident set the two wolf brothers on a journey to find a new den, safe from the hunters who were hot on their trail. Along the way, they encounter other wolves and woodland creatures that assist them on their journey, all while the older brother attempts to parent the younger Super Wolf. Some major landmarks along the way include a time where they would live alone in the woods, a stay with the elder wolves, joining a new pack, receiving assistance from their estranged mother wolf, and their final run to the new hunting grounds. Their fate is decided by the lessons the big brother wolf would teach the Super Wolf along the way.
Was that your second or third draft?
Yeah, because the other
Yeah,
draft
it
is
was
on
the
the back.
second.
I started reading it
I know,
a
I
little
did
bit.
the regular synopsis.
I was
and
wondering what you were
converted it.
pointing at. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well done.
I don't remember this game having any wolves in it. What game did you play?
We just played Stray.
gotcha!
Stray 2, Wolves.
Straight to Wolf. Straight to Wolf Edition.
It's the DLC. Oh, man. Just for flow of story tonight, let's do our best to stay in like chapter order, just so that we're not jumping crazily around, because this game is already kind of crazy with some peak moments.
All right. So at least with that, because do we want to do like some of the decisions in chapter 1 first?
We could just
and
run
then
through them
move-
real quick.
Just do it.
There's a lot. I mean, there is a lot, but
We don't have to have a discussion about everyone, but
Yeah.
that might spark some good.
It helps keep the larger
I
moments
can cut.
together.
If this ends up being too long, I could cut the
Yeah,
extra too.
and so the nice thing about Life is Strange 2 is that it gives you the menu option to go through all of your choices that you made and then compare them with friends and things like that
Yeah.
from the end of the game. It is pretty fantastic, and so that's what we're going to do here is just run through these.
Yeah, I like that. It kind of gave you the global perspective of where everyone's decisions lie, and then specifically your friends who.
And you
have
can just see
played
how
through.
wrong everybody was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you kept the Choco Crisp for yourself, you greedy little bitch.
yeah, I didn't want to choose sides. It was too early in the game. I didn't know what was going on yet.
Okay, that's fair. I gave it to Dad.
I gave it to the kid.
I gave it to Dad.
Okay. Lied. So this is when you approach your dad to ask for money.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going to get alcohol and drugs for this party?
I said yes.
I did too.
I did too.
I lied.
Ooh.
So
You get less money
Yeah.
as a lesson because he knows you're lying.
yeah.
That's a big part of the game though. Like
was-
that first like budget is huge.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
bump in the game.
Yeah, this is where I will say that was because I started the game, and when I got to that point, I actually felt bad about lying to him. And he also stole, because you can actually get the weed pipe out of your drawer and put it in your pocket. And even when I was playing, I'm like, you just need to put that in your bag. You never put it in the bag. And so when we go to what the next one is, the weed pipe is missing out of your pocket too. Like Dad snatched it out.
Oh,
of
when
your
if you choose to hug him, he takes the pipe out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
missing from your inventory. Then.
I told him the truth, and I had the weed pipe, and I still had the weed pipe.
Oh.
Pretty much all the way through
Probably
the
probably
game.
because you told him the truth, and he's like, I don't need to frisk my son.
I left the weed pipe. I did not bring the weed
Yeah,
pipe.
actually, same. You know, because I was thinking like this is gonna turn out bad. Like I don't want any kind of paraphernalia.
Yeah, I don't want it to
on
be
me.
some weird thing where it's going to add extra stress later.
And there's a point where you're packing stuff from the fridge, and you can choose the beer, and I did not because I was
I took the beer.
Yeah,
Did ya?
same. I took it through.
oh,
there
I
too
took
as well.
the soda.
I want okay.
I took everything as if I was going to that party.
There you go.
okay. I did not.
I didn't bring the weed. I didn't bring the weed pipe.
No, I didn't in like my full playthrough.
So Steve made a comment early before I played this game. He was like, "Oh, I got to replay chapter 1 because I got busted at the party or something like that." And I was like, "What?" So
Busted with the pipe.
It's he probably
I
interpreted it.
thought you make it to the party. So I was like, I don't want to like start off the game arrested or something.
Little do you know.
And that, my friends, is why I hate the spoilers in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that next one. Did you hug your dad before you were getting ready to leave?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hugged dad. If you didn't, just hug your father.
Yeah.
Unless he's
Hug-
an asshole, then I get it. But
Yeah.
Hug me as well.
I
Also,
get it.
I
Then
did,
give him a
I
rib
did
job.
tell Esteban. I did tell Esteban the truth, and that's actually like also how I grew up. I would always just like tell my mom the truth and like
Yeah.
just deal with the consequences of the truth as opposed to lying.
yeah,
Dealing with the consequences of lying
I would-
is always worse than dealing with the consequences of just living your truth. So
Yeah.
I would tell dad the same thing. It's like, hey, I'm going. We're probably going to smoke. Nobody's and I would say that no one's leaving the house. We're not driving, spending the night. He's like, all right, just be safe. If you need to come home, call me. Don't fucking drive because that's stupid. All
hey,
right.
Harry's coming over. He's bringing beer. Please leave us alone.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
She's like, you're 18. I was like, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand what I'm telling you.
Yeah, we get it.
Did I stutter?
My mom was always super cool about that stuff.
Yeah.
My mother was not.
No.
I lied a lot,
Yeah, you did.
and that's how I got good at it.
Yeah.
Did you get good? Because I'm pretty sure she knew pretty much everything.
She probably did.
Sounds like he's lying to himself.
He got really good at lying to himself.
he got really good at lying to himself.
It didn't matter. We fucking moved out 3 months after we graduated anyway. Then it was.
Harry's been over in the bedroom. It feels good.
All right. Did you steal money from the jar? You didn't steal money from the jar. You put money in their jar.
Who's that asshole?
I know, right?
I did not take any money from the jar.
I did.
I honestly didn't even see the jar.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's right in the kitchen.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. Apparently, there was 8% that did, like, globally put money in the jar. Who the fuck are you nerds?
Right.
All right. Next is you confronted Brett. You questioned Daniel. Confronted that racist badger. That was a good one, by the way. In your
Yeah,
story,
like
badger.
that.
I'm like, oh yeah. Good one.
I tried to keep it in the the spirit of the
You
intro.
hit it.
Yeah.
I questioned Daniel
Oh,
There.
okay.
because I thought that I was trying to de-escalate, and I feel like asking Daniel, like, hey, like, what happened?
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, well, fuck you. Like, it kind of gives you some insight into what Daniel was actually doing, and that actually made me ease up on him because he was just being a kid and it was an accident. But
Yeah.
I don't think you get that if you confront Brett
I mean,
You kind of do later.
yeah. He kind of
later.
talks about,
But Daniel
Yeah.
straight up tells you what's going on, and it kind of changes that dialogue
Okay.
because Sean's not mad at Daniel at all. There's no animosity between them starting off from that point if you just question Daniel about it.
Gotcha. It was more so he put his hands on my little brother, and that wasn't happening. And he already made himself to be a complete douchebag, so he had to come in. Now, well, I'll let the other two answer, and then I have a question for that. Did you confronted?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I confronted Brett.
All right. So, after you questioned Daniel, what happened to Brett?
He got pushed over and like his back was broken.
Okay, he got pushed.
Okay, it was
yeah.
like his head. Like he
He
looked
hit
like
a rock or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he like
Yeah.
died. I think on impact, or he's paralyzed for
Yeah,
life.
it looked
Yeah.
like his spine landed on a rock, and he was just like, "Rah."
Yeah, because
The
at least
confrontation still comes. I just feel like I got more information from Daniel.
gotcha, because it more started back and forth between Sean and Brett, and then Sean just like he hit Brett a few times, like punched him in the face several times, and then Brett fell back and spine hit Ruck and go. Break.
I'd like to hope that he's dead.
Yeah,
That's how I picture it.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah,
But
see,
he may be alive. Though.
so Sean kind of in self-defense pushes Brett if you confront. Like it's not. He doesn't like wail on him. They like throw fists back and forth, and then Brett's on him and he pushes him, and then looks like Brett falls, and then breaks his spine or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty close then.
Yeah.
All right, you have the next one up. I'm sorry, I started asking.
Well,
questions.
okay,
I took
before we
over.
jump to the next question, I think we should talk about, this is a major plot point where it's kind of revealed that Daniel has a superpower.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis, yes. Damn it, why couldn't he be named Kyle?
Oh, it would have been amazing.
but not.
But he
You're
basically
such a special boy, Kyle.
he basically explodes in anger, sends out a shockwave, destroying the house, flipping the cars, killing the cop, which the cop did shoot. This cop is
Esteban.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't move, bang!"
It was
Escalated the situation very quickly.
It's a little racist in there. That started in there pretty quick. It's like, oh, these non-white kids are like screaming at this dying white kid on the ground. Points the gun at the kids. Dad comes out because he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
And then cop shoots dad. Dad goes down. Dad dead.
Don't move, Dad breathes. Bang!
Yep.
It's basically how it went.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's fucking awful.
It is.
no, it really
It's
is.
fucking awful. And it's too fucking real. That shit happens all the goddamn time.
So
and
I'm
it's
like,
fucked up.
fuck, Dad's dead already. I was hoping it would last longer than that, but it did not.
I know. It was like fucking 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Like, bah!
Yeah. But yeah, no, Sean scoops up unconscious Daniel and huffs it out of there
Yeah.
for the rest of the cops who show up for backup.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it'd be weird to jump to the next question
That's fair.
before
Very
setting
fair.
that stage.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right. So next they come across the abandoned car going to the trail, and Daniel saw the Choco Crisp in the car, and you were given a decision: steal the Choco Crisp from the car, or don't steal it.
I didn't, but I feel like there's no punishment if you do.
Well, that's because you know what
It
happens.
sets a few things probably into motion. Like if you continually kind of.
Well, yeah, it probably hurts the invisible morality bar of Daniel.
It does.
Right.
You start teaching them that stealing is okay.
Yeah.
And then that has.
I didn't take it. I don't know if there's an option for the other one.
Yeah. It's you did or you didn't.
I did not steal anything
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
I did
Since
not.
it's not another option, I'll just kind of not really jump to it. But so I didn't steal it. So I made sure I bought one from the store for him.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like
I
at the
did,
store.
I did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him I'd get him one. I promised him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think he says something like, "Oh, can I have the next?" I forget. It came up in conversation.
Yeah.
As they're hiking through the woods.
And then also with that, getting to the gas station, I think there was a couple sitting outside. I didn't even approach them, so
I didn't either. The people at the
Oh, you
picnic
didn't?
table or
Yeah.
whatever.
I have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
And I was trying to. It basically you have a whole wheel of like 4 different conversation options, and the one is ask for food. And I tried to hit all the other ones first. Like maybe it'll subtly come out in conversation that they'll offer rather than having to beg.
Yeah, no, you have to beg.
Yeah.
Or just not talk to
did you beg or did you have?
I
Dan?
did. You could send Daniel over.
I did as well. I thought that was a really fucked up thing to do this early in the hike. We'll say.
Go ahead. Go
To
ahead.
be
kid.
like, hey, go beg for food.
the cute one. Go back.
Yeah, he still doesn't. He still doesn't know what happened. Honestly,
yeah,
at this
like he
point.
has no idea what's going on.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're going on a camping trip.
Yeah.
We're just gonna skip school.
He's like, oh, you
Oh.
have money. Like you have money. Like
Other clarifying factor. Daniel doesn't know he has the superpower or that his dad is dead.
True.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Both of
he's in the
these.
dark on a
Because
lot of things.
when he did the superpower thing and like killed the cop and stuff like that, like
He passed out.
Yeah, he like passed out and didn't realize happened. It was like a natural reflex that happened.
he had a
So he has
fucking
no
Tetsuo
idea.
moment where he's just like, everything exploded around him and he was unconscious.
All right. Did any of you guys steal from the gas station?
Didn't steal anything from the gas station
Yep,
myself.
I did.
Oh. What did you steal?
The camping tent.
Oh, the tent? Oh,
Wait,
damn.
the first time? No.
Did you
Post
steal it
confrontation.
before or after confrontation?
We're talking the initial when you're doing the shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? Where? How do you?
They're in the camping section.
No, you get caught immediately.
But no, I picked it up, and he's like, "There's no way I can hide this," and he puts it back down. Is what my experience was. I tried to.
Yeah, no, I remember that dialogue too, but I did steal.
I mean, I stole it after.
Yeah, at the end of the chapter, I stole it.
You have the option to steal
oh
it.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, after
Okay,
the confrontation.
okay,
So
yeah.
What
Yeah,
the hell did I steal then? I stole something.
So there's like the food items. You have to get a drink and a food.
It was something at the back of the store.
Hot dogs.
It might have been the hot dogs.
Jamming
and the
some
buns or
wieners in your
something or
pants?
whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even spend money on drinks. You can fill up your water bottle out in the restroom.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Oh
can.
damn!
I didn't do that.
Did you dig the apple, half-eaten apple out of the trash?
No,
I
I
did.
didn't.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you?
I made it.
You hungry, kid? Here you go.
Like Sean, no.
So at least in that part of the story, then this is where the shop
He hates you
owner.
by this point.
Yeah, already.
I didn't
you're
know how
making me
bad
beg
the
and you're
food
feeding-
situation was going to get, so we're grabbing every crumb that we could
He's
find.
like,
at the
I
store.
just begged, and now I'm eating a trash apple.
There you go. The trash
trapple.
bowl. So then, bigot racist store owner confronts you saying like you stole, which you didn't. What even if you did, but you
Yeah,
it didn't. Like
whether
I
you did or
it, yeah.
didn't, which because I was like, nope, not gonna steal shit.
Yep. Then fucking zip ties you in the office while Daniel runs around the woods trying to escape this kid or this guy, who then helps you escape and then blows up the fucking gas station with his powers again. Not quite blows up, but
Yeah.
they run amok. Just
Yeah,
to
he
say.
fucked some shit up.
Yeah, he
for
did.
sure.
He definitely did. And then
So like,
But on their way out,
yeah.
add new character, Mushroom.
Well, hold on. Before we get to mushroom,
yeah.
like, so did anybody not steal the camping gear?
I didn't.
I did.
I did. I hit him and took it.
Yeah, same.
There's some certain moments. So I know there's moments in the game where the morality would like drop on Daniel, but there's certain things I could not let
go.
go.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a couple
100%.
moments where I was like, I know this is going to have a negative effect on Daniel, but we're fucking doing it anyway because
Yeah.
it needs to happen.
Yeah, no, I thought the same. I was like, there's a point. Daniel, listen, I'm talking to you through the fucking microphone and my controller. There's a point where you just can't do shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without like spoiling a lot of the rest of the game, like if you don't have the camping gear, like, are you not sleeping in a tent like the rest of the game?
He set up the tent
No.
in a house anyway.
Well, later
Well-
you're not. You're like in the tent for a while.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
But they
Maybe
also
it's
have a lot
no-
more money at that point. They could have gotten it from
Yeah.
the grandparents.
the- No, and I mean the only thing that actually still shows in like your like inventory or like in your bag
Right.
is the sleeping bag, because I bought a sleeping bag
Okay.
before all that shit went down at the gas station. It doesn't show anything really. Did you ever see yourself sleeping in a tent?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh,
Yeah. I had a tent.
all right.
Same.
Well, nope. We're sleeping under the stars, boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad I asked.
okay, I did. That's wild. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
I just assumed you would stumble upon one somewhere else or something.
Nope. No tents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's
Talk
good to
about that
know.
more when we
Right.
get there.
That's wild.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
We'll let you know when
Wow.
we were sleeping in tents. Not just pitching them.
So yeah, two important characters here: Mushroom, the puppy,
Yeah.
Brody.
Brody, Seth
Fucking
Rogen.
Fucking love Brody. Yeah.
Is it Seth Rogen?
I don't know.
Well,
It's-
no.
Oh,
he
yeah,
sounds
okay,
like
okay,
Seth
okay.
Rogen, looks like a little bit fatter version of Seth Rogen. He's Seth Rogen.
You guys are on the run.
Get in, guys. I got some weed.
At first time you meet him, I kind of was creeped out because he's just checking out weird
Yeah, he's like,
nudist
like,
colonies
work-
and
yeah,
like a store internet, like sitting in the corner.
Yeah, he's at a
Yeah,
gas
I'm,
station food table, like basically looking at porn.
Yeah.
I'm writing an article,
Doing research. Okay.
doing some research over here.
Stay away from the coffee.
Pass the Jergens.
Yeah, he's a cool character
Yeah,
though,
he ends
but
up being a good
just
dude.
a bad introduction to him.
Yeah. I mean, it really makes you question, like, you're like later on, you're like, I gotta run from this gas station. Like, am I really gonna do this right now? Like,
Yeah. Did you guys call it Lila?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. Called Lila.
Yeah.
And then smashed the phone.
That's it.
yeah,
Yep.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
threw it-
think you
threw it-
have to throw the phone away.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
throws it. Yeah, he
It's
throws
one of
it
the
anyway.
objectives.
Okay.
Because he was sitting out on the porch. He watched the Christmas video, and then I let the whole thing play out until he was just crying, and then he chucked it in the ocean, or at least like on the beach.
Oh, I
somewhere.
couldn't
Yeah,
wait
he
forever.
threw it
I
over the
was like,
road. Or
ah.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I did look up. So everybody called Lila, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I did look up. That was the one thing I was curious about. She goes like super depressed, gets like put in like
Like a home or something.
yeah, something like that. And her mother, like the
If you
second,
don't call her
if you
that
don't
one time,
call her,
Jesus
yeah, and then
Christ.
like yeah, she just loses it 'cause she's so upset and like distressed that you're missing, kind of thing. And then like the second, like if you get an opportunity to call later in the game, you only talk to her mother, and she's like, yeah, no, she's not here anymore. She's not doing well. She's in the hospital. Like
Damn.
like suicide watch.
God
kinda,
damn.
like, yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah.
This game.
Call Lila. Just do it. But see that's the thing. Like it plays into like how like did you guys
This game
were,
gets fucking dark.
were you
sometimes. It
worried when you
does.
called though that, like the police would track the phone? Like that was a big concern. Like I had to like sit down and really think this choice through. It wasn't like a quick decision.
Yes and no, but yes, because they would already be able to track the phone anyway. Because you don't need
Yeah.
to make a call for them to be able to track your
Yeah, they
cell
can track
phone.
it on GPS now.
Which is pretty much why Brody was saying you need to get rid of that. You can get a burner later. It's like Brody fucking knows what's going on. He's
Yeah.
been here before.
Brody's been in some shit before.
Yeah, so I'm like, at least call her, and then I know I'm getting rid of this phone, and then maybe I'll get an opportunity, and we'll see what comes up if I take that opportunity. But I like that you said that because that's going to come in a little bit.
So that was one of those decisions that like I played this game very differently than I played the first one, and I think it definitely affected like the way the story played out for me, because like I went into it knowing that like there's 5 episodes, like you know what I mean, like
no one's gonna die.
well I
Well-
didn't think nobody was gonna die, but I was like the game's not gonna end. You know what I mean?
Well,
I was
yeah.
like, you're not gonna get game. I was like, fuck it. Like, let's like sometime like some of the
Shortest
decisions.
podcast review ever. 45 minutes. Joe's eaten by wolves in the woods.
Like,
That's irony.
It was the younger brother.
like I tried to like stick to like a theme, but like that like thought did cross my mind making some decisions. Like I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like let's like it's not gonna end. Like,
Let's fuck some
let's
shit
see
up.
where this
Yeah.
goes. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
My favorite part of him saying this right now is that if you remember 10 minutes ago where he was like, "Oh, I got a bad ending."
True. Very true.
He saw where it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad like we have some like different endings though.
Roll
That's
until the
exciting.
motherfucking wheels fall off.
All right. Did you promise Daniel that you weren't going to lie again, or you said you were going to try?
I told him that I wasn't going to lie again.
You
Yeah,
promised
same.
him.
Same.
Yeah. same.
Promised.
Yeah. At that point, I'm like, all right, kid, I can't.
There should have been a fucking achievement
For
in
not
this
lying
game
to him at all.
for not lying to him after making the promise.
Call it like
because I didn't.
Same.
Any time that it came up, I was like, nah. I fucking promised him. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie to him.
He was like, "Are we?" It was like many chapters later. It's like, "Are we criminals?" And then it was like, "No."
I was like,
and then
kind of.
or like sort of. I'm like, "Yeah, sort of."
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like,
much.
No,
Yeah, how
that's
does that
it.
conversation? Because I think I said the other choice, but
He's like, we did a lot of shit. We did a lot of bad shit. Is like
like-
pretty much what he says.
Yeah, but then it's like we're not bad people, but we
Yeah.
have done some illegal stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
So he-
definitely enough to land us in jail, is what he says. Is
Yeah.
what Sean says specifically. He's like, yeah, I could end up in jail for this,
Yeah. Yeah,
and they
yeah.
would separate us. That was like
But-
another thing that he
Yeah,
says.
but that would have been a good achievement, like something at the very end, something called like promises kept.
Yeah,
there you go.
something
There you go.
like that.
I just did your fucking. I did your
Yeah.
fucking job.
Did your fucking job for you.
Wait for my royalty.
oh
checks.
man, I forgot to include something with game development. I'm just gonna put it in final thoughts.
All right.
Remind me. Just say, hey Harry, don't forget to put this in final
You
thoughts.
got a
'cause-
pen and a fucking paper right there, dude.
Hey Harry, don't forget to put this in final thoughts.
Hey,
There's
Harry?
a reminder.
Don't forget to put this in final thoughts.
Read a code word. Read a code word.
Yeah, I can't wait until he gets to final thoughts and he's like, "What is this?"
I'm okay
For the
with
sake
it.
of time.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't matter. Matter?
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
All right, dig it. Where'd you throw your snowball?
At Daniel.
At Daniel.
Oh, I threw it properly.
They're at a cabin in the woods in wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And you're trying to see if you can like stop the snowball.
you're
essentially, with his
training-
Yeah,
power.
you're starting to train Daniel's
Daniel.
power.
Yeah.
And before we go on to this next one, this was probably the most tragic moment in the game for me. And it hit me on an emotional level I didn't even know.
I
Not
agree.
me.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I got fucked up last night, man. We'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll just wait. We'll let it go.
Oh, he's saying a different part was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it wasn't this part for me either. Even as like a new dog,
It did
owner.
fuck me up.
Yeah,
a
no, this
puppy.
one like really upset me.
Yeah,
Like,
I was-
like, to the point where I had to go upstairs and like hug my dog. Like it just really upset me. That
I will say
like
that
who kills a puppy
this
in a
I-
game?
Cougar.
a cougar does.
Yeah, it's
Like the
it's
animal,
more than-
not the one
more-
we all like.
It's more than likely something that would actually happen.
Yes, but like the creators, did they really have to write that into the
Yes.
game?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it
You
made
really
you
think
feel
you
that.
wanted to have and sustain a fucking dog
That
for
they
the
could
entire
have handed
all
it
the episodes?
off to the grandparents like 5
They
minutes
don't
later.
want a dog.
They-
They didn't even want kids.
Yeah, they disowned their own child. You want them to take care of a dog?
I'm just saying.
Hey Harry, I hugged my dogs too. And also, I'm very glad. Actually, I got this on my dad yesterday. I gave him a very big hug. I'm like, oh my god, I
Did he
need to
take
hug
your
all the things. All right. Did you scare the cougar off, or did you let Daniel kill it?
I let Daniel kill this motherfucking cougar.
Same.
Same.
I intervened.
Okay.
This was one of the few where I'm like, this is probably still going to have a negative impact on Daniel, but kill that fucking cougar.
Yeah, it bothered me. So many levels. Sorry, this was like the moment. Like I was like, "Fuck!" It was like, do I continue this game?
Jesus Christ! It's a fictional dog.
I know,
It's-
but they wrote it. There's fucking French people.
It's like
Harry's like, I used all my jerk off tissues on my tears.
it's like the war movies
Some of them
where
were
like
used.
thousands of men died, nobody really cares, but a fucking horse or a dog goes down and people lose their shit.
It wasn't even a dog. It was a puppy.
Yeah, it was a puppy.
It was a puppy, Clark.
It's just a puppy. Oh, she was a sweetie.
So does the cougar just run away if you let him go then?
Doesn't it actually? It takes.
Oh yeah, it drags Mushroom away,
Oh, fuck.
God.
You
You
don't
don't
even.
even-
I killed that motherfucker.
and then you
Jesus.
don't have anything to bury.
Oh,
You still
okay.
you still make the cross and stuff for
Yeah.
it, but you don't actually
Does
have
Does Daniel wear Mushroom's scarf for the rest of the game for
Yeah.
you
The
guys?
bandana.
Yeah.
The bandana. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Who prayed or not prayed?
I prayed.
I prayed.
I prayed. I'll get with
yeah.
Claire
Well, we
and
were still
Daniel.
trying to like fit in my
Yeah.
opinion, with
Yeah,
the
I was like,
grandparents.
I don't need to get kicked out right away.
I did the exact same thing. I was like, well,
I need a bed.
yeah. Let's not ruffle any feathers.
right.
Maybe day 2.
We'll pray to your
But
God.
it was funny because, like, in my playthrough, like, I felt like on the outside of stuff, I was just like, yeah, like, pray, sure, church, good, great.
Is it though?
But, like, anytime that I was talking to Daniel, I was just like, I don't believe in that shit at all. Like, we're not
Yeah.
doing, And that comes up later.
Did you tell Pop Steven about Daniel's power?
No.
I did.
I did also.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is this?
You did
bottom
too,
over
Harry.
there.
I
Yeah.
did. I
told-
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he's like,
Interesting.
don't tell Claire. She'll
He
freak.
seemed legitimate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He seemed like a very genuine grandpa.
Because there was the scene.
And this is kind of
where-
betraying Daniel, by the way, though, because like you told Daniel, I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah. Well, we told him not to tell anybody.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, he specifically tells
That totally works.
he specifically tells Daniel not to show anybody his power.
Which he then already broke.
Oh,
that
but he
fucking-
loves doing that.
Yeah, he does.
God.
Yeah, he does.
That fucking kid.
No, I will say there was when Sean was sitting at the dining room table and Daniel was laying down and Claire and Steven were having their conversation in the kitchen. You can actually, if you really fucking crank up your volume, you can hear the conversation that they're having and not just like the muffled and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Claire is very apprehensive. It's like, the police are coming after him and all this other stuff. And Steven's like, we have to do this.
Yeah, he's
We
like,
should
they
leave."
are our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do this.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
And then Claire comes around.
Yeah. Yeah, she does until you start snooping in her shit.
Well, that's fair.
Stinky.
I know. I was mad when
I
they
was
did.
so annoyed with fucking both of them. And this is Daddy Clark fucking coming out. I was so fucking pissed that both of those fucking kids went into their grandparents' fucking room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking do that.
See, that was one of the other things too, where it was pretty much saying it's like, keep a low profile. So I know there was the opportunity to use the laptop in Steven's office, and I think also the phone or whatnot. I
Yeah.
didn't touch shit.
I did
didn't
all of it.
Did
I
you?
used the computer and called
Gotcha.
Who'd you call?
Lila.
Again?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I contacted Lila one time, and it was after I burned the phone, and I was like, old life's gone. New life, here we come.
What was the second conversation like, if you remember?
Just following up.
She talks about wieners a lot, doesn't she?
What?
Clark just wanted to talk about wieners.
Apparently.
It's his favorite.
Lila talks about wieners a lot.
So,
All right.
okay. So I'm going to...
I'm at a loss, man. I'm sorry.
it's same...
Here, you lost your wieners?
Yep.
So same section in the movie, but since it kind of plays off the...
movie.
I mean, in a way,
Did I say
kind of
movie?
it. You
Yeah,
did
you
say
did.
movie.
Whatever.
It feels like a movie, though.
Kind of does, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
There were... Anyway, I'll get to that in gameplay. So the confessing to Steven about Daniel's power, like, so I didn't do that, right? So I kind of have a question about that. That happens a little bit further, right? So there's an accident involving Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does, like, so for me, you have to make the decision then. Like, does Daniel save him using his power or not? Because they don't know he has the power.
So that gave you a completely different way of it. It's like, because it's even more so because with us, we already told Steven. So
Right.
Steven
Was he just like, hey, fucking get in here and lift this?
No. Steven still
it's
didn't say anything. Like
you still have the
option.
Like
the
choice or
option
whatever.
of like
yeah.
you both power lift it or Daniel uses his power.
Oh.
But Claire is standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So
still.
she's
Right.
going to witness it. That's going to be new in whatever choice you make.
Right. So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but when
So
the
that seems
accident
probably
happened,
pretty
yeah,
insane.
but Steven made no reference to
Knowing.
Daniel's ability,
Yeah.
even though we told him.
Okay.
He didn't. Steve,
Yeah, he
didn't
would
rat.
take it to the grave if that didn't come up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's loyal.
Steven's an OG.
I thought it was really funny when you do like confess to him. You're like, yeah, Daniel has a power, and Steven's like, yeah, no shit, I saw him fucking do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does it a lot.
Yeah, when you Joe, when you tell Steven, he's like, I know, I've
I've
seen it.
seen it. It's like, oh, well, he does it a
Cat's out
lot.
of the bag anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn, why couldn't they write dialogue like that in the fucking game?
Yeah, right.
seriously.
It's like no shit.
Daniel has a special power. Yeah, no shit, Sean. He fucking does that shit all the goddamn time.
Saw him fucking around
Get
with
a lid on it.
saw him fucking around with that raccoon out back.
Lock it up.
Chores don't fucking matter. When Daniel saved Chris, did you tell him it was the right thing, or you told him about the rules? I told him about the rules again. I was a stickler about this fucking rules.
What are the rules? I reminded Daniel about the rules.
Oh, I think I told him that's the right thing.
So
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yeah. So did a lot of people.
Splitsies.
Yeah. We already just talked about logging into the laptop.
And
Didn't
calling
use the
Lila.
laptop. Didn't call.
Nope.
Yep.
Silence. Okay. So here's where Clark's question about the alcoholism comes in.
Oh yeah. So what did any? Hold on, before we kind of get into like Chris and everything. Did anybody play the adventure?
I did not.
No.
Spirit something? No.
Oh,
Captain
okay.
Spirit.
Okay, so it's
Get
like
it right.
it's like an
dude.
hour and a half chapter of its own where you play as Chris.
Oh.
You wake up, you go to breakfast, you see your dad, and he's making breakfast and everything. It's a snowy day. Well,
Pancakes.
What's that?
Pancakes.
Yeah, I think he does. He
Yeah.
makes some pancakes.
So many pancakes.
He's
in
mentioned
this
his
game.
pancakes several times.
Does he?
Yeah.
But anyways,
Chris or the
Yeah,
dad?
Chris.
so Chris brings up, he's like, hey, can we get the tree today for the house? Because it's coming up Christmas.
Right.
And David's like, yeah, no, I just got to watch the game and then we'll go get the tree. So he's like, why don't you just kind of play with your toys in the meantime? And it kind of is like inner monologue of Chris going around the house and he's putting together like his super costume. He thinks he's a superhero kind of thing. And he's using his powers to get chores done around the house, where he's afraid to go into the basement, but he's using his power and he's fighting demons in the basement. And there's these mini games where you're fighting like evil powers and such like that. So it's just kind of the imagination of the kid going
Right.
through all these
Okay.
chores and turning them into
Fun
superpowers.
experience,
And like
whatever.
when he put wood in the fire, he's like, let me cook the wood. And he's like doing this and the wood's like cooking and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the dad is pounding beers back like it's fucking nobody's business. And he's getting more and more belligerent, more and more angry towards Chris. And you can see this alcoholism and abuse start to come out. Sean's grandmother comes in, like they introduce her in this. And she's concerned about the kid because he knows. So anyway, his mother died, I think, in a car accident. Like
Got died.
yeah,
Got
died.
She got to dance.
She done did.
And the dad's having a hard time coping with it and
Right.
use alcohol.
She got a bad case of the dead.
Yeah. But no, the lifestyle there kind of reminded me of like Kenny's family from South Park. So they're a little, they're like the poor family in this like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're the poverty family.
Yeah, and they're the poverty family. Yes.
Yeah.
And all the stereotypes that come with it.
I thought I saw a couch out back. At least in
Sweet
this.
treehouse, though.
One of those blockbuster console cases.
I go rent that play box.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Hey, nobody said it was Steve. Jeez, Clark, you'd have to call him out like that.
I know, right? Cool. Bringing up my childhood again. This is fun.
The blockbuster console renting joke.
Yeah. Cool. Huzzah. This makes me feel great.
Yeah, that's anyway. And then the chapter ends with him falling and him hovering above the ground.
Gotcha.
And it looks over and boom, Daniel Shawn. That's how the chapter ends. So it's like
okay.
a little bit more insight and character building for Chris and his dad, essentially.
So there is a part where you can talk to Chris, and if you gain his trust, you can ask him about his dad. And he says, Dad loses control sometimes when he drinks too much.
Interesting.
Which I was able to gain his trust and find out about his dad.
Sorry, funny moment with the drinking though in the Spirit Adventure thing. His dad like falls the fuck over, smashes his head in like the coffee table. He's like, "Oh fuck!" like it's a really funny moment of him just like crashing.
Crippling
through the living room.
alcoholism is
Yeah,
hilarious.
It was very funny. Sorry, I just want to get that out before I forget about it.
Yeah.
I didn't gain Chris's trust.
Yeah, same.
And so I didn't really know about the alcoholism. And I was just like, this kid's boring. I'm just going to just kind of just ignore. I was like kind of half ignoring the standard 8-year-old
So-
kid
problems.
Just like his dad.
I mean, I don't know what happened there, like to not gain his trust. Like, I feel like you play that mini game where you separate the
Heroes and villains.
heroes and villains, and you encounter all of them in his.
That's what it
mini.
is. You have to separate the heroes and villains.
So he doesn't trust you if you don't get it right. Is essentially
Basically.
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
I made
And I
some
was just
good
like,
guesses.
these ones are the good guys, these ones are the bad guys. Let's get on with the fucking conversation. He's like, I don't know. Are you sure? I was like, yes. These are the heroes and these are the fucking villains, Chris.
This is where I
Shut
actually.
the fuck up or I'm going to get a beer.
Right. Do you want me to drink, Chris? This is all your fault. Just like when Mom died.
You should have been there with all your fucking superpowers, huh, Chris?
What about that, Chris?
Oh, God. That got real dark.
Yeah, it did. Well, dark. It's in.
Yeah,
it's
this
in the
game,
opening.
this game.
Yep. I told Daniel to stop lying to Chris about his power. This is where
Same.
I broke Proto here, and I was thinking this kid's going to get real fucked up, if he thinks he can do this, because this does not seem like a stable child.
Potentially does.
Oh, you went the other way, didn't you?
I
I know what happens too. Yeah, what the consequences of that one are.
I did. I chose to protect Daniel's secret and told him to be careful.
That backfires later, I'm sure.
All right. I listened to Cassidy's full song.
Enter Sean's love interest.
Yeah.
Well, one of
One of
Sean's
them.
love interests.
One of his possible options, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Cassidy, the hippie, multicolored hair guitar chick from Texas with the gap teeth.
Yep.
Just says, I like them.
I did
The
not,
first woman you see with hairy armpits.
Yes.
but not the last.
Definitely not the last.
I didn't listen to her song the full way through.
Okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure this song. There's like, so again, like as per tradition with these games, I listen to the soundtrack on Spotify afterwards. I think the remade of this song is probably the best song on the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Might actually have
Super
to check
solid,
that out.
100%. It's really good.
Drew zombies for Chris.
I drew a spaceship.
You didn't draw anything, did you?
I didn't draw for Chris.
I don't know.
I didn't know there
You
was
were
an
like,
option.
fuck Chris.
Missed that.
You're sitting at the picnic table in the Christmas tree place, and you're just drawing like the trees around you and shit.
What picnic table?
All right.
I don't remember sitting at a picnic
It was a
table.
picnic table right near where all
it's
the
draw-
vendors
it's the
were. and
drawing
shit.
opportunity. There's a drawing opportunity in every episode, or at least 3. There's
okay.
like 2 or 3 in each episode.
I must have walked right by it.
It was
then.
right where Cassidy was. There was tables right there.
I thought I could sit down and draw Daniel a gift because I had no money for a gift.
Nice.
And apparently you cannot just draw a picture for a gift, because then it's like, did you buy it? Did you steal it? Or did you get him multiple gifts? Who the fuck does this kid think he is?
Yeah, it's stupid child.
I got him one gift.
Same.
But what would you get?
I got him the polar bear that's sitting on the chair.
Oh, I got him like the little snowman that
animal.
looks like it's made out of a toilet paper roll.
Yeah, that's what I did. And he's like, this is nice.
Oh, see, he really likes the polar bear.
Oh, yeah, it was like $10, right?
If you talk to the guy a bunch, he'll give you a discount because you admit that you're the grandchild of Steven.
Okay.
Loose lips.
Oh, see,
Sips.
I was talking to him,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want to mention where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I was like,
avoided
I'm
that.
just passing through. Like,
Yeah, I think I said something along those lines.
Yeah.
See, I told him, I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I think Daniel liked mine the most because I stole the yo-yo. It was one of the only times I stole in the game. I'm like, I can't afford anything, and I don't want to fucking talk to people, even though that went to shit anyway.
But it was in the bin for the needy, right?
Yeah, we are the needy.
They are the needy.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
so I guess if you bought one and stole the yo-yo, that's probably how you get the other one.
Probably.
I had an honest conversation with Charles about his problems, because you can even say to Charles, Chris's dad, it's like, Chris told me about your drinking. He's like, did he? It's like, yeah. It's like, you should probably get some help. Like, Sean's having this adult conversation with the father. It's like, you need some help. And then he goes in, Charles starts talking about, yeah, well, my dead wife's parents, Chris's grandparents are always saying, it's like, you can have them, we want to get involved, we want to help. And Charles keeps shutting them out. And then that's when Charles is like, you know what, maybe it would be good for Chris to spend some time with them so I can go get some help. So,
Oh, interesting.
so actually, by the end of how my conversation went with him, he's
I wonder
like,
if that conversation only happened because you gained Chris's trust initially.
I think so, because otherwise you wouldn't know
Yeah, you
about
wouldn't be able to confront him about it.
right.
Yeah, you have that in the truck when you.
Yeah, when he's dropping you back off at the
Yeah.
grandparents'
Yep.
house. Yeah.
I did not get involved with Chris's
Neither. Yeah,
Charles's
neither did I.
problem.
I was talking to him, and then the conversation just ended. Like, I think you have to
Yeah.
hit very specific prompts
Yeah.
to kind of get in it.
Sorry, did you gain Chris's trust?
No.
That's
he
probably
didn't.
why
That's probably-
you didn't get the prompt.
That was
to
probably like the
dive
precursor or
in,
something.
yeah. I let Daniel, as we were talking about already, I let Daniel use his power to save Steven.
Same.
Yeah, so the loose bookcase fell over on Steven, and
I love how the first thing he said was like, you were right. I should have fixed that months ago.
yeah, and of course, he wasn't like automatically pissed or yelling at them. He's like, I fucked up.
Yeah, this one's on me, guys.
Yeah, he's like, my bad.
Literally.
Yeah. Like, God, that made me love him even more because even in
My
the
problems came crashing down around me.
I also had Daniel use his power on Steven, which I did when I was reading because I had time to do a lot of like back end research. If you don't, then Steven ends up having to go for like surgery or something, and he's always seen with like a cane or something else afterwards.
It breaks his ankle.
Yeah. And then now that was this part about telling, because I had a feeling telling Chris that it was actually Daniel's powers. I didn't have a cop chase me, and Chris helped me escape. So is that where something else may have been? Or yeah, and that he wasn't hit by a car.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
He was not hit by a car for me either.
Oh, really?
Yes, Daniel saved him.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Daniel saved him on mine.
Yeah.
Like the cop was coming
So
at
there's-
us, and he like threw the cop car off of the road.
That's like one of those ones where there's a lot of instances that, like, and there's kind of generalized things on here, like, you encourage Daniel to use his powers or whatever, right? And, like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't do that several times previously, he probably doesn't.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think that decision in the parking lot where you tell him to keep it a secret would have an impact on this scene.
I think it's several, like, moments probably
I
combined.
think it's what he uses his powers for determine
Okay.
like his
Yeah,
power usage.
And my general decision making was, hey, I want you to kind of use your powers, but I want you to use them responsibly and for good.
Right.
unless you're killing a cougar for being a cougar.
Yeah, well, fuck that cougar.
Yeah, fuck that cougar.
Killed a puppy.
Circle of life. Fuck you.
The puppy shouldn't have been there.
But you know, Harry,
The puppy didn't have a choice.
that's true.
And then it's Daniel's fault that the puppy died.
Well, actually, technically, yes, it is Daniel's
it is
fault
definitely
that the puppy
Daniel's
died.
fault that
Yeah.
the puppy died.
Plus, it is both of their faults for just letting the dog outside to run around without
In the
watching
fucking
it in
mountains,
the fucking
yeah.
woods. I'm scared to let Egg out without a leash to run out to pee without a hawk or at nighttime a fucking owl coming down and swooping him up. It happens.
Swoop, there it is.
Dad, Daddy, please help me. Daddy, the mean birdie got me, Daddy.
That's what you get for having a dog with 4 teeth and a tongue that sticks out all the time. Pray.
Yeah.
Can we take 5 before we hop into
Just buy
episode
the-
3?
Yeah.
Al just grabs him by the tongue.
The only last thing that I wanted to add for episode 2 before we moved on.
No, we're going on to chapter 3.
There was the one where it's like,
This is my episode, chapter 3.
Dan-
Go ahead.
Throw it in final thoughts, Steve.
all right,
The
throw it.
thoughts. Final thoughts.
Final
You jerking
Daniel
him off over
swearing.
there?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't stop him from swearing, then he starts swearing in front of Claire. And then she's like, you need to get control of that boy's mouth. And Sean's like, yeah, okay.
I'll be honest. So there's a point in chapter 2 where I was like, oh, I'm really fucking up with Daniel. Because you're walking around the yard and you're like, and Sean's like, hey, don't do that. We don't want to piss off Claire. And he's like, I don't care what that old hag has to say.
What?
Yeah.
And you're like, is
wow.
there
I
an
was
option to bitch slap this kid?
I was like, oh man, I'm really fucking up with Daniel.
Who would have
wild.
imagined Harry's a bad influence as an older brother?
See, I had so many, like, Daniel, like, never cursed for me. Like, I addressed it right from the beginning. And then he, like, basically never cursed again.
Yeah, that's that's an impactful
I
decision in
would've
dialogue.
It's weird. He combats you on so much, but he does kind of listen in a way. Mm-hmm. Like he'll do
Every
it.
now and then he'll be like, I can get away with this one.
Yeah, because I think then this is where it started showing more the decisions that you make for Daniel have an impact on Daniel, since they actually show, did he obey? Did he listen? Did he do this? And that's where
You're kind of molding his young mind.
yeah, it's like, because there's the balance between, there's the morality and then the brotherhood. Those are like the two biggest factors that I think are like the invisible background things of like his meters that can raise and drop.
All right, so we move on to chapter 3. We fast forward. We should mention. I'm going to bring this up in my questions later. This game is a lot less linear than the first Life is Strange. There are time jumps in between each episode.
Yeah, where it's even like a couple months or
Yeah.
stuff in between. Yeah.
So they're down in California now in the Redwood Forest, camping out with a group of hippies.
Yeah.
Meet back up with Cassidy.
Yep. And they're working at a pop farm in this chapter.
It's so much weed.
Marijuana.
All right.
So did you guys make coffee?
Yeah, I made coffee.
Yeah, I made coffee.
I made coffee.
Yeah, I was pretty good in general around the camp as far as like pitching in or whatever. Did you guys hit a bullseye?
I did. At least when I was allowed to before
Daniel was a dickhead.
little bitch.
I think you could dodge that. I think it's if you line it up with the green, because you see there's two separate swivels. As long as you don't have them lined up, I think you can still hit the bullseye.
Oh.
But his other one, like he is the one orb and you are the other orb. So if they cross at the same time, that's him deflecting it. So you got to hit the bullseye when it's not.
I don't
In
know.
sync.
Second orb.
I know. I remember because there was like the X and then there was like another little thing going. I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay.
I think that's how you get around that one.
Yeah.
I didn't, though. I thought I had to line it up with both. So
I hit a bullseye.
I find it surprising that 0% didn't hit the target.
Yeah. That.
Like globally.
Yeah. Global.
Huh. Everybody was really trying hard.
Yeah, apparently.
Like,
That's odd. Or
Yeah.
maybe there's something fucked up with that stat.
I don't know.
maybe not.
Yeah. Who
Maybe
knows?
not. Yeah.
I was understanding when Daniel mentioned Karen.
Same.
Understanding as well.
Okay. We're all in there. I asked him why he doesn't wear his watch anymore. That he wanted so bad that he snuck into my room and stole it. When,
Oh, that's when they had that flashback, right?
yeah, when
Yeah.
Dad was still alive, and you broke his trophy thing.
Yeah, you got in a little fight there.
Yeah, and Papito said you need to rectify this right now. I need your help.
I intervened when Big Joe, who is the armed muscle for the weed dealers, slapped Cassidy.
Same.
Stepped in. I was like, wow, what the fuck?
I thought it was fucked up. I did not.
Really?
Yeah, that went against everything that
Steve
I probably
supports hitting women. Let it be known.
Got it.
He won't stand up for digital women.
No.
With hairy armpits.
No, a little hair.
I don't really think she has hairy armpits. I think it's just really aggressive shadowing.
No, well, it's the same. It's her armpits were the same shadowing as Sean's armpits, so it's hairy armpits.
Oh, no. Sean had actual hair there, though.
In some scenes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, either way, whatever. You live your life the way you want to. You want hairy armpits? Knock
Date
yourself
someone
out.
else.
I trimmed a lot of weed buds. Like I murdered trimming those buds. I was commended for my weed.
You trimmed a lot of weed?
I did
Okay.
a lot of weed.
I was average.
Yeah, I was average.
Yeah, I was out. I was trying to listen to the conversation too, which
Yeah.
was a little distracting. But
Yeah.
I was like, that's more important.
Yeah.
I thought the weed
Snipping.
was more.
Yeah, I know you did.
Trying to get my job done, Harry.
Do you get paid extra or something if you do? Or does that really pay off in any way?
He
don't really
comments
get
on
paid.
it later. Yeah,
You don't get paid, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, you can later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because Meryl's a stingy bitch.
There he is.
There's some weird dynamics there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are definitely some weird dynamics where it's just like you have big burly white dude with the AK and then skinny black dude who just has reign of everything who is just like, I'm trying to think of what character he reminds me of. Where,
He's Walter White, pretty much.
yeah.
That's pretty much what he is. He's the brains of the operation.
He's like, I
Like
got a
season
family.
3 and further. Walter
yeah,
White.
This
yeah.
is why they're in New York. I'm trying to make money, but don't fuck with my money. Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
okay, man.
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with my money, motherfuckers.
Help Daniel clean the dishes. That's
Nope.
the little thing. Oh,
Yep, I helped him clean the dishes as well.
I just was doing my own chores.
Harry helped.
I did. I actually had a problem because I remember seeing this after. So, like, Daniel did offer to help me with the carrying
Water
the water
tanks? Yeah.
with the power, but I was like, oh, we got to keep the power on low key. Let's not use it. But then it
Yeah.
shows like Daniel refused to help you.
Well, I think it was either Daniel refused or Daniel didn't help you, or
Right.
Daniel helped you. We'll
It's
see.
one of the
I
options
think
later.
it's one of the things.
Yeah, it's
later.
one of Daniel's at the end.
Yeah.
okay.
I did kind of hate how Daniel's stuff is kind of separated out, and it's like not a linear progression of like the
Okay,
Kinda,
so
but
did you
it's
stats.
Well, did you guys notice? You you find out if it's a Together decision or a Sean decision or a Daniel decision
Yeah,
when
with
you
the
make
little-
the decisions in the wolves.
Yeah,
Down
yeah.
the bottom,
One,
yeah.
one of
The
them.
little wolves highlighted.
Yeah.
So I was glad that they were separated because I wanted to see those as separate because I wanted to see,
Where did my
Yeah.
decision really lie? What was affected?
That was a cool little, like, it's a very subtle thing, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It lets you know, like, oh, this is like your guys' relationship. This directly affects Sean or directly affects Daniel.
Yeah.
I was sober at the campfire.
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
We're not partiers, huh?
No, apparently not.
Did you also go to
Wait,
sleep
hold
early?
on. I have the friends one, and it says someone was wasted at the campfire.
Well, it's not one of these friends.
I mean, you can see my check mark right there.
Someone else had played this game. It's probably not just Harry and I.
Yeah.
Yes, Joe. I did actually I went to sleep when Daniel did.
Yeah.
So
same.
did I.
Yeah. I wasn't staying up. Don't tell me to get my hair cut.
Oh, did you look up what the haircut is? It's like a mohawk.
No.
It looks fucking
Is it?
stupid.
No.
Yeah, it's-
I'm even more glad that I didn't then.
Yeah.
Nah, you got to support your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was already
speaking of that, I came forward when Daniel hit Big Joe.
I did not.
Oh,
So Finn came forward.
Yeah. So I had a couple problems with this. I was going to bring it up in gameplay, but this actually caused me a problem a couple times.
Okay.
Some of the scenes were so long my controller would turn off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, played on PC.
and some of the responses are like timed or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I had to like be like scramble and like hit the button on the keyboard. And like I missed that one.
Oh,
And Finn came forward.
gotcha.
Well, you got to see something different
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
through your inability to play the game.
I mean, like I was literally just
Fuck you, Joe!
you can't tell me some of them weren't pretty long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, some of them were.
And the Xbox controller turns off in like 5 minutes. It's not long. So like literally the rest of the game, like when there was long scenes, I would just like bump the fucking stick every now and
Yeah,
then.
just like
so,
flick a stick.
yeah, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah. All right. So now the next one is when Finn approaches you about the heist.
Yeah, so basically no one gets paid because of this incident with Big Joe and Daniel and all of them.
I don't even know what Daniel was doing. He was just like in the other room.
He was snooping around the
decided
house.
to snoop around the house. He was supposed to stay outside till everyone got paid, and then he fucking walked in the other side of the house, and Big Joe's like, yeah, fuck this.
yeah.
Wait, okay, so while we're on this chapter, I will say Daniel started to annoy me a lot at this point.
Well,
in
he
the game.
started to be rebellious.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like, I don't know, child characters are kind of annoying in games sometimes.
They're
and-
annoying in real life, Harry. Have you met a 9-year-old recently?
Yeah.
Dude.
Still, it's just very.
Coming back around to that conversation, having kids, dogs sound great.
I don't know, just annoying characters at some points in this
Yeah.
game. It was hard to.
So
Yeah.
so they hit it. They hit it well then. Yeah, annoying kids. Yep.
That's kind of what I talk because I used to think the same thing about a bunch of games before, and then I was like, you know what, like. That's just how I feel about kids most of the time. Like I nailed it.
All right, fair enough.
So-
All right, it's fine.
Yeah. So from that incident, Finn's like, "Hey, let's steal all the money from Meryl using Daniel's powers." And then there's a little bit of a confrontation about it, where either you can go along with the heist, you say no, that's fucked up. And then you could be convinced later on while the heist is actually going if you initially said you were out.
Something happens
that's
there
another-
that
that's
reveals Daniel's powers first
Yeah.
to the people there.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
that
they didn't know. Well, in my playthrough at least, they didn't know about his powers until like
Yeah, they
he
didn't.
was showing them.
the scene where like, you know, he was caught breaking in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think something hit Big Joe.
They
He
all
threw a cup at him or something.
Yeah,
It
something
was
like
the
that.
ashtray. They all saw
Ashtray.
the ashtray fly across, the room and hit Joe in the head.
Yeah, and he's like, who did that?
And then that's
Yeah.
when Sean was like, I did, gets punched. And then that's when they explained to the hippie commune people, like, okay, Daniel has powers. And then Finn is like, we can rip Meryl off and get our money and just leave and whatnot. Hence
Yeah.
the heist.
Which was a bad idea.
So-
everybody knew that was a
Yeah.
bad idea.
Did-
All of his
did any-
friends were trying to convince him.
Did
not to.
anyone kiss Finn?
I don't think I could because of Finn stepping forward.
Okay.
I think he judged me for it.
Steve, did you kiss Finn?
I did not, but I found that was because I was out of the heist.
Oh,
I'm assuming
okay.
this came up. So there's a conversation you have with Cassidy, and she's like, "Don't you see it?" kind of thing.
Everybody
And
likes you. Yeah.
I feel like you make a decision there where, oh yeah, no, I do like him, or no, I'm actually into you instead,
yeah.
which is the choice I was making jokes about earlier. But I think that's kind of where you decide what his sexuality is.
So
Yeah,
what
or-
did you choose, Harry?
That I was into Cassidy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I think when I was reading up with it, and actually back on the heist, I was eventually convinced to take part in the heist.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I said no, and then while we were there, it was like, fuck it, we're already here.
Yeah, I was like,
I was
shit's,
out
shit's
the
already
I was
going
out
south.
the entire time.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Stayed out, told Daniel not to do it.
Went swimming. Did
That's
didn't-
before.
Yeah, that was,
Swimming with Cassidy?
yeah.
That's before the heist.
Yeah, before the heist.
yeah.
Are we just
Yeah.
not on that question?
Yeah, but
But it kind of is in a bad spot because the heist comes up, then several other things happen.
Yeah.
And then, like, Finn and Daniel end up going on their own
Was
to,
there
to do it.
a choice? So I had a problem with this scene because Daniel kind of throws it in your face, like, "Oh, she's leading you away" or something like that. But I don't remember.
He mentions it in general. He's like, you're spending a lot more time with them than you are with me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so like the first night that you play, like I went to bed with Daniel, you tell him the story and everything like that. But I don't remember there being an option to like hang out with Daniel. It was just kind of like go to the lake with
No,
Cass.
it's kind of the assumed thing.
Yeah.
You're-
Okay.
Yeah,
He does throw it in your face. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I walked up to Daniel before I went and hung out with Cassidy.
He was just sitting at the fire with.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm hanging out. Like, leave me alone." Like, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Stuff like that kind of
I'm gonna
annoyed
go
me.
plow this hippie chick."
I'm going to go lose my virginity.
Sorry, I sucked.
Sorry, I was bad.
I got a wolf tattoo.
I got a wolf tattoo.
Same. That was
Alright.
cool. I like that. It like any scene that like cutscene.
It
you
was
could
in,
see it.
yeah.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
it.
I loved how he got a tattoo and then immediately went swimming with a bandage on.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Especially in a lake.
Right.
Lake water.
Let me go where all the bacteria is.
Yeah, don't do that, people.
So yeah, we all went for a swim then.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Cassidy didn't get angry.
Nope. Didn't get angry at me either.
What do you have to do to get her angry at you?
I go
Yeah,
with the
because
heist.
she was pissed at me later.
Oh, to go on the heist.
Yeah. So if you agreed to the heist,
Did you agree to the heist?
So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I was like, this one's kind of in a weird spot. 'Cause
Okay.
Like I said, Finn and Daniel go back on their own, right? And then after you're done plowing Cassidy, you come out and you're like, where's Finn? And they're like, he's gone.
When does that happen?
And-
like, when's the opportunity to plow?
You go to the tent. Did you not go to the tent?
I
with
didn't.
Cassidy? Oh.
Right after you're swimming,
Virgin.
you go right to the tent.
Yeah.
No, I thought right after swimming, we were like, Daniel's missing.
So hey, if we just continue with the questions, we'll get there.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Well,
It seems like timelines can jump around a
Yeah,
lot.
So
here.
kissed Cassidy in the water.
Yeah. Did you kiss Cassidy in the water?
Why don't you flick your?
I don't think I did.
Oh,
You
did
did not.
That's probably why.
that's
You
probably
didn't
why
go
you
to her
didn't
tent.
fornicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't make a move. No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so made a move, went into Cassidy's tent, lost virginity.
Life is Strange boobies.
Yeah, Life is Strange boobies. Second time.
Second time, yeah.
Set of Life is Strange boobies. See,
Yeah.
Hannah's like at the jump.
It was the beginning of episode 3.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I'm gonna
it
go
was
get a
boobs.
shower. It's like,
oh, okay.
all right.
I was like, Sean's probably loving this.
Oh my God, you're gonna
Daniel's
take a
probably
shower.
loving it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel's probably just like, what's happening? Just using his powers. What's happening?
For
Daniel, for training today, juggle those.
All right, Daniel, we're going to practice on upskirts today.
I stole the vehicle without alerting Big Joe.
I sabotaged Big Joe's vehicle.
Yeah. I slashed all 4 tires.
Yes.
All right.
Like he's like, oh yeah, that's good after 2. I was
I
like,
didn't
no,
even
no,
find-
we're
I
doing
didn't-
all
No,
4.
we're making sure.
I didn't
This
find
isn't
going to
be some weird shit.
Oh, I used a screwdriver and punctured all 4 tires.
See, I used the screwdriver to try prying open the doors and shit, and then it broke.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I slashed all the tires, and then I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna break open the fucking window with a crowbar.
Yeah. So I disabled the engine, and then found the screwdriver, and then I was like, well, the vehicle's already disabled. Let me try to get in here because I didn't want to break the window.
Yeah,
I was like, let me try and do it silently. So then I went and tried to pry the doors, then I tried to pry the back window on the truck, and then the screwdriver broke, and I was like, guess I'm going with the pipe.
Oh, because
Piping it up.
So the back window, if you climb in the bed of the truck,
Yeah.
and do that back window. I opened it like no problem.
Same.
I didn't. I had to like.
I
pry at it.
wasn't.
and
I wasn't
shit.
able to open it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
There was no sound or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
maybe I had the screwdriver and he just flips.
The little latch, like
yeah,
the
the little
back
latch.
one. Yeah, in the back. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even test it.
I
I
did.
was just
Yeah,
like at the
it
door. I was like,
fucking
"Let me in."
The Eric Andre.
Yeah. And then smashed it with a pipe. I was like, "Hey, you can't get us anyway."
So does he come running out after you make
Oh,
noise?
Yeah. Start.
I didn't get like a cutscene or anything. But when I smashed the window, it was the second time I had alerted him, and he was just like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And you can hear him like rustling around getting his gun. But I was in the truck, gone, and like his character model hadn't gotten up to the area yet.
The way you said that, it makes it sound like you get one freebie on making noise.
You do.
Okay.
You do get one free.
I only started him once, and he came out immediately.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Maybe there's one that specifically triggers him.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys open the box? I know there's a box on the wall. With the
Yes.
tools.
There's two
That's-
things to open.
What was it? Like, I'm curious because I didn't do any
There's
of those.
not a lot.
There's nothing important in those.
No, you find the pipe and the screwdriver, and I think there's a collectible in the one box. But it alerts him the first time. The dog starts barking, and he's like, "What do you want? Like, what's going on?" He's just a bark. He's just a bark, a Swedish puppy.
That didn't get eaten by a cougar. Yeah. I think it was a puma specifically.
It says cougar.
It says cougar.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It even says on the
I
screen.
thought they mentioned at
cougar.
some point in the game it was a puma.
You're a puma.
Well, that's like the. I think it was the flyer in the gas station where it was like, "Beware of bears. If it happens, drop all your gear. Go for the face." And it's like, in case of cougar attack, throw a 20-year-old male or some
throw a
20-year-old man
at him.
Yeah. Like, I like that one.
So during the heist, I came in after Finn and Daniel had broke into the house already.
Same.
So we're all on the same page
Yep.
there.
Hoopy Boos, same thing.
Yeah.
I did not take a gun from the safe.
Yep, me either.
Nope.
I don't think I had that option. I
Yeah, I
think you
never got-
probably have to sneak in to get
I
that.
think you have to probably go with the heist for it.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
And then told Daniel to use his power, and Finn wasn't killed.
That is correct.
Same.
I watched the ending where Finn gets killed.
Yeah.
I mean, he just blasts him with a shotgun while he's laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And this is actually disappointing because I saw that coming from a mile away.
That they were going to get caught?
No, that like if you didn't choose the right option at this scene, that
Finn's
Finn
gonna
would
die.
die.
Oh, yeah.
Had a feeling,
And
yeah.
I wish it wasn't as obvious as that because I think it could have been more impactful if you accidentally made a wrong choice because you didn't know what the outcomes were going to be and Finn died. And like same thing with Chris getting hit by the car. I feel like there could have been a more emotional connection to the game if some of these tragedies would have happened, but I could see them a mile away on all these very
I had no
Seriously.
idea about
Well, the Chris
getting hit by
thing,
a
you didn't
car.
have an option for. That just happens based on previous determinations.
No, I think there was a point where you could tell,
No, it just happens.
doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a car coming for us. Go ahead and run out in front of it.
I mean,
don't remember that.
Yeah,
also at
no.
the same time, there was no car and a chance of Chris getting hit. Like mine was like I ran out of the back of Clarence Stevens' house. Chris is there, and it's like, "Hey, we gotta go." And he's like, "Oh, go through like the Gnome Woods or like his fantasy world something." And it's like no one can get you back through that way, and then you just run through the woods. Cassidy wasn't injured. in
Same.
mine.
She was injured in mine.
She was injured for Harry too. Okay, so let's
Yeah, I don't know what the
let's circle
damage
back.
was, though.
Circle back for a second. So
She got injured by Daniel.
In the
Well, yes, I do know that, but I don't know how she got
how?
hurt.
Oh, wait a minute. No,
Daniel lifts her up.
because when in ours, because we were convinced to do the heist like afterwards already.
Yeah, when we
she
got to
gets
the house.
mad and storms off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So she's
So
trying
if she's
to...
just in the room, she gets.
Yeah, like because she comes in
Yeah.
like in ours,
hurt.
like Sean and Cassidy come in while Daniel and Finn, like before they go into like
To
the
Meryl's
room,
room?
yeah, before they go into the main room, and then that's where the decision comes up again of
Participating or not.
yeah, exactly. And if you choose participate, Cassidy's like,
just leaves.
fuck this shit. That's so fucked up. Why would you do that? And she just leaves the house entirely.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that pissed me off the most about this whole thing is that I feel like Sean finally started to have some happiness, like with Cassidy and like, man, Daniel just fucking ruined it. Like, and it was just like, it was like Sean has done so much at this point.
Yeah.
So much like emotional heavy lifting at this point to get them where they're at, and he's not allowed to have his like moment of happiness. He has like literally like probably the shortest sex he'll ever have his entire lifetime, loses his virginity, and then immediately post nut clarity sets in. Where the fuck's my brother? Oh, he's robbing a fucking weed dealer
Yeah.
I don't
with
blame
some dumb shit hippie.
Daniel and all of that though. I feel like Finn had
Oh,
him wrapped
Finn-
around
yeah.
his finger
Oh,
a bit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But you said in
Fuck
your
Finn. I did
Yeah,
not
no,
like
Finn-
Finn at all.
He was kind of a shitty person.
yeah, I did
Yeah.
not like him. But you said Daniel choked Cassidy then.
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
so
What?
yeah. So Sean and Cassidy are trying to convince Daniel to not go with Finn before they actually get through the next door. And Daniel's like, he says something, and Sean's like, "No, stop! Like, just listen to her." And he's just like, "You always choose her," and like lifts her up off the fucking ground.
Jesus
and
Christ.
she just starts like convulsing, pretty much.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's
Maybe because he
it's,
didn't fuck her.
it's
Well,
fucked
no,
up.
but he was still complaining about her, but like he didn't choke her. I think she just got hurt in the blast when everybody got.
She
kinda
got hurt.
blip.
She got hurt in the blast for me too. But he hurt her as well.
Oh, okay. He
damn.
might have had low morale for you at that point in the game to do something because that's like a
Maybe.
violent
Yeah,
action
yeah.
towards
Yeah.
somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's crazy that we let him kill a cougar and he didn't choke her in mine.
yeah.
Well, she wasn't there for yours. You said you said
left.
you were eventually in
Yeah.
on the heist and she left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did everybody lose their eye in this? Is that just a part of the
Yeah,
game?
that just
Yeah,
happened.
so that episode ended, and I thought Sean was dead.
Yeah, I thought it was going to pick up with Daniel possibly until they showed like the episode 4 precursor like at the very end.
I gotta
Right.
say, one of the things that really pissed me off when I beat episode 1 of this game was that instead of being like, "Hey, from this menu, would you like to download all of the other titles that you've purchased?" It only had me go in and select each episode and download them. So when I clicked on episode 4 and downloaded it, I saw, and this is at the end of episode 1, I saw that Sean had a fucking patch on his eye, and I was like, what the fuck? So I got that fucking ruined for me
That sucks.
from episode 1, and I was like, oh, it's gonna happen. And then I kept seeing. So they
Just
did
waiting.
all of episode 3. Sean keeps making comments about like, I see what you're doing, and like, oh, like, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. Like, it's just like, I'm just like, oh god,
For how long?
I need to focus a little more.
yeah. Gotta really squint both eyes here. Ah! Here we go.
I mean, the good thing
Yeah.
is we're knocking out much of the story discussion as we're going through it. so-
Much.
Well, yeah. That's kind of a part of it.
All right, so we're jumping ahead quite a bit now. You're kind of arrested, but in the hospital recovering from the
I
blast.
think it's like 2 months later.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, Daniel freaks out at the end of the heist and blows everybody into fucking bits, pretty much.
Yep.
And
yep.
then Sean gets a giant shard of glass in his eye, and now he's,
Missing an eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow back. He is not a superhuman.
so far.
So
Pretty
he
good
gets
job
he
so
gets a
far.
glass eye, right? Because they mention it, like Joseph mentions it.
Well, I think he says,
Never see it.
I think he says you could get one. The technology is getting crazy, but I don't think he actually has a glass eye yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for it because he's still recovering. Like,
Yeah.
he has to moisten the fuck out of it
They're
for a
still
while.
creaming his eye.
Yeah, he's still just got to rub all that Neosporin in there.
Love those videos.
I just wanted to see it. Like there were so many shots.
You can in one of the endings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll get there.
Oh yeah.
Suck, man.
So quick one. So you're kind of friends with the nurse that's been taking care of you, and he gives you an eye test early on in this chapter, and you can either pass both, pass one, or pass none.
I only got one.
So both.
That second one was hard.
That second one was
Yeah, that
hard.
depth perception really fucked me over. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. You're fucked.
Then moving along, so the agent that's on your case comes in and starts asking you questions.
Yeah, you got
Detective Flores.
Special Agent Flores.
So the choices were you can blame Finn on the robbery. You could say it was your idea, or you could say that everybody had their hand in the pot.
I was like, yeah, that shit was Finn.
Oh, yeah.
Finn 100%.
All the fucking way.
100%.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck Finn.
Yeah. I was still kind of pissed at him for doing
Everything.
that. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, oh,
totally.
you manipulated my brother. You can go fuck
I
yourself.
don't think anybody would have been mad for pinning it on him either. Like, not being like a narc or anything, but
Yeah.
like everybody was totally against it,
Yeah.
and he did it anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
even like, it's like while you're in the hospital, you have your letters, and I got one from Cassidy, and she was even
same.
she was even saying where, it's crazy not to think that Finn's here to fuck it up, but no one seems to care. Like,
Yeah.
that essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but it was
So-
just like Finn's not here, and we're not really sad about
So
that.
since you guys were eventually in on the heist and Cassidy stormed out on you, she still kept in contact with you guys?
Yeah, she wrote letters.
Yeah. Even where it was like Cassidy wasn't angry at you, I think that was just based off of your initial response to
Gotcha,
the heist.
okay.
Not flipping sides halfway through.
Did anyone escape the hospital without hurting anybody?
I did.
I did.
I did as well.
Cool.
I
Joe?
did not.
What did you do, Joe?
You hit him with the pipe.
Yeah, I hit Joey with a pipe.
You hit Joey with a pipe?
Yeah,
Did
well,
you have to
Joey
pull
with
the
the pipe?
curtains over and then he comes through, or I didn't see
Okay,
how it plays
so
out.
You can
call,
like beg him to help you, pretty much.
you call him into the room and like you basically just be honest with him. Like, hey, like I found a clue in my notebook and I know where Daniel is. I need to get out of here and make sure he's okay.
He's just like,
Okay.
I'm not risking my
And he-
entire
well,
life for you.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, dude, do you know how much trouble I'm gonna get in for that shit? Blah blah blah. And then like you can convince him, and he's like, look, if we're gonna do this, like, we got to do it right? You got to make it look real. He's like, hit me with something, and then like you walk around the room and you like pull this the wheelchair handle out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
You rip it off the wall, and then you hit him in the head with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's like, hey, hit me right here because it's gonna leave a big bruise and not hurt me that bad. So like I'll be fine. And then you hit him way too hard, and he gets fucking pissed at you, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, man.
So
Joey's a fucking champ, man.
So I
It's like-
did not get the conversation where they were like, yeah, you can do this to me and I can help you get out.
Yeah.
But it was literally like, you can attack Joey if you want, because I had the pipe already.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And I was like, I could just knock him unconscious, but I
Oh,
don't know.
like as he was walking in the room or whatever.
Walking out after the conversation.
Oh, okay.
Like in anger, I could have just fucking hit Joey with the fucking pipe.
Jesus.
I was like, no, I'm going to let him go. And then I used the pipe to pry open the
window or something.
The window.
Yeah.
I didn't
that's
even
what I
have
did.
Joey come in for the conversation.
Really?
Yeah,
did.
I didn't even do that
I had
because
like a farewell conversation with
Yeah,
Joey.
yeah, same.
I started walking around the room, and then I went into the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
and pulled the pipe off, and the guard's like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And then went back to sleep. And then I'm walking around like, all right, window. I saw like a trailer.
Yeah, the
for
sheets
something
were
there.
already there and everything. Like it was pretty obvious that it was like there was a window exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't even have a farewell.
Wait, did you use the sheets to rappel down?
No, I walked right out the door.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause
you knocked
Oh,
Joey.
because the guard was asleep, right?
Well, the guard goes out for a smoke break.
Oh, and that's when you call Joey in, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because at least with no conversation with Joey, it was like go out the window and go down the scaffolding that was out.
Yep.
Outside.
You still end up going down the scaffolding anyway, which I thought was weird.
That is weird. See, like at
Like
least
I went out the door, grabbed all my shit from like the staff area,
And then went out the building or the exit.
I went out like an emergency exit
Yeah.
on that floor.
Yeah.
Instead of going like down like the main lobby and then onto the scaffolding.
Well, I think that's the only way that you walk past Finn.
Right.
yeah, because at least like for this one, like went out the window, you went like a few windows down, like down the scaffolding, and it's like, oh, I think my stuff's across, and you open up like this
Another
little
window
door
or whatever?
No, well, yeah, you go through an already open window. Go figure. And then it's like in the storage closet, and you open it up, and the guard's asleep outside of your room, and you dun 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 like sneak across the hallway, grab your shit, dun 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 dun, sneak back out, and then scaffolding, and that's where you see you can see Finn
Right.
again.
If you want.
Yeah, which I didn't even talk to Finn. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not even.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
either.
even dealing with
I
it.
didn't talk to Finn either.
Oh, I talked to Finn.
Yeah.
You forgave him too, it looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh, you forgave Finn for what he did.
I wouldn't have forgiven him. I would have been like, fuck you. I just told the cops like what happened. Like, get fucked. Like,
Oh, he's already fucked because I feel like I told the truth to Flores. So
Yeah.
like,
yeah, what do you owe him to have another conversation with him at that point? That's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, fuck him. Like, he has nothing to say to me.
And there was that other option. Finn wasn't at the hospital because he was fucking dead.
well, he admits to like fucking up real bad. So
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I didn't have to hear it. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, with the fucking. All right. So
Cult.
after.
Enter the cult.
Yeah. So Sean escapes the hospital by hotwiring a car.
Yeah.
He's driving to Nevada because that's where one of the hippie guys, Jacob, or at least in the commune, said, I have your Superwolf comic. It's at Haven Point in Nevada, basically.
Well, he
giving
didn't tell him
code.
where it was either. He just knew that Jacob was from there and put it together.
I think he just said Haven Point. I think there was a note referring
it
to
was.
that in
Yeah.
the sketchbook. Maybe. I'm not sure. Either way.
Yeah, you have to put two clues together
in the sketchbook.
in the sketchbook. Yeah, you're
Oh,
looking.
it's like a cross.
Oh,
on a different
that's
page.
you're
right.
looking where
yeah.
he says something like Superwolf
Yeah.
is like I'm with Superwolf or something like that.
And then you go back a
and
few
then
pages.
you go back a few
That's right,
pages
yeah.
and it's Jacob and it's just like you writing down stuff from what Jacob had said and you're like, oh, Haven Point, that's got to be it.
Yeah. So on your way to Haven Point in Nevada, Sean pulls over the car to get some sleep, and he's accosted by, surprise,
More racists.
More racists.
yeah,
So many racists in this
Stupid
game,
white
in this
people.
country. I know.
they're the worst.
Goddamn crackers. So there's a possibility where a scuffle may ensue because the one more racist guy. There was like the one. Always seems to be one really bad one, and the other's like, "Come on, man!" He's like, just
The one
let him
dude
get
wanted no parts of being there. He's
Yeah.
just like, we saw what he wanted. Like, just leave
let
him
him go.
alone.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's douchebag. I didn't try to
Fucking
take the
Chad.
toy back from douchebag.
I didn't try to. I was just trying to not engage him whatsoever.
Yeah.
I tried to take the toy back and I broke it.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what would happen. And I was like, it's an old toy.
Yeah, and then douchebag tries to start. Well, not tries. Like he starts like humiliating Sean, saying like, "How do you say I'm a dirty thief and this isn't my country in Spanish?" Like this type of stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, holy shit,
Very
you are a
accurate, Steve.
terrible fucking person. It's already
Yeah.
seemed like a piece of shit. Now you're just a total piece of shit.
A lot of these choices were very timed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that quick.
Yeah,
I was not asked to sing a song.
I was,
I was.
and I refused.
yeah. I was asked to sing a song in Spanish because I refused to say anything in Spanish to him.
Oh, the one was really good though. It was
The one
like,
where you're like,
I'm a
"Fuck
dirty
your mom," or
thief and
whatever?
fuck your mom.
Yeah,
That one was tempting.
yeah.
That was one of the ones where like you only had Spanish options.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm just not going to do
I'm
anything.
gonna pick the
just
fuck your
gonna-
mom one.
Yeah, yeah. I just was like, yeah, fuck this.
All right, and then at least after this, then you're able to make your way, and then the car was like basically on E, and you
Yeah.
had hours to go. So now Sean's just walking down the fucking highway stretch in the middle of the desert, And
Catching shade under a billboard.
yeah. And then
Did you guys find the snake?
no.
Damn it.
I fucking almost stepped on a snake.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you go too far off the road.
Oh no. I saw the.
So I was wandering too.
Yeah.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So then a logger trucker pulled over on the side of the road and asked if you needed a ride, and I fucking took that ride.
Same.
Did anybody
I was very apprehensive about taking the ride, but I took the ride, and I was like,
I am so far down on my luck right now that I feel like I have to take this.
yeah, I was like, this guy is gonna try to get Sean to suck his pee-pee. Still have to get in the truck. There's no way I'm walking this.
Sorry, Sean.
Honestly,
Looks like you're sucking dick.
Yeah, I was like,
At least I'll be sucking dick in air conditioning.
At least you give me a sandwich.
one thing I hate is
Some meat in here.
hampered movement in games, and he was just like slow walking and shit. I was like, all right, Sean, suck a dick, get out of this desert, go for it. Like,
Dan, this is the one thing I was super curious about. Like, what happens if you have to continue walking?
Yeah.
Like,
I looked that one up. You just continue. You just walk the entire way. You are super sunburnt instead of kind of sunburnt. You are like not like refreshed because you don't get sleep. You don't eat. You just keep walking, and I think
do you physically do it in game, like, or does it just
yeah,
like
in
a
game
quick
time,
cut
in
scene?
an hour.
I would imagine there's
It's
probably
1
a cut
hour
scene.
of walking.
I bet you. No,
It's
I
like Final
definitely know
Fantasy
that.
VII running up those fucking stairs.
Yeah, but that's what I think. I think it would be like a solid like 5 or 10 minutes to just like
God
limp
damn
it
it, I still
along
can't
or
believe
something
there
like
was an elevator.
Knew about the elevator. I was just like, I might miss something. I didn't miss anything.
No, you
No.
didn't. I mean, there was a little banter on the first couple of floors and the last couple of floors. But
That was about it. The
The
rest of it.
87 floors between
yeah,
them.
Jesus Christ.
So
Anyways.
now Sean made his way out in front of the church that Jacob is a part of, and finds it's like they're speaking of a miracle, and at least in the next one,
Like
it's like
posters everywhere. And
You
Yeah.
see Daniel posters. Like,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Our Savior has arrived.
I gave $1 to the church so that way I didn't steal the pin. I just wanted a pin so I could get another collectible.
I
But
didn't take the pin.
You never donate to churches.
I did not donate to the church.
that was a wasted $1 on that one.
We're gonna get some hate on that one.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
And enter like probably one of the base characters to enter the Karen.
Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen shows up.
Yeah. Mom comes along.
What a Karen.
This was already after you.
Quintessential Karen haircut.
You entered the church. You saw Daniel. You got to speak for him for a moment, and then the Reverend
Nicholas.
the Reverend like basically acted more out and like hurt herself falling down.
Yeah.
And convinced Daniel, your brother is
brother
a
attacked
convict.
me, yeah.
He doesn't belong here. Something else. And then fucking Nicholas like chokes
didn't
you
get
from
any of that.
behind.
Yeah, at gunpoint fucking takes you out of the fucking
Another moment
compound.
when I'm like really disappointed in Daniel that he cast you aside so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
you haven't seen him for 2 months and you're really going to be like, yeah, fuck off. I found I found this new home.
They gave me a bed.
And the sweet ass haircut.
Yeah.
So she like acted like she got hurt from Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like faking it.
That didn't happen in mine.
Well, I confronted her about like this whole thing being kind of bullshit,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and she
Yeah.
gets like pissed off and like she's a
Interesting.
very manipulative person.
So I didn't
Yeah.
confront her, but I was like, I did say like some, I would call it aggressive things towards Daniel, like, hey, like what the fuck you doing? Like, let's go, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then I got the shit beat out of me by Nicholas.
Oh, I think
Are you
you're
talking about the second time?
No,
Yeah.
like before I met Karen,
Oh, because at least with
because
mine.
I went in when I first got to the church. Did you guys go into the bottom?
I went to the top.
I went into the top as well.
Yeah, same. And then you met Sarah Lee and
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, can you take me to Daniel? And she takes you down or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the Reverend's like, oh well, we need to help clean him up. This is a place of healing anyway. Sends Daniel and Sarah Lee to the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she has a conversation with Sean.
Yeah.
and they kind
Where
of go.
basically she's like, you're not getting Daniel back.
Yeah, and then she has like her hand on like his shoulder or something, and he like just brushes off her arm and she throws herself on the ground and comes up with like a bloody nose, and it's like you spilled blood in the house of God or something else, and then Daniel gets mad at you because he thinks you hurt the Reverend who's been helping him. But no, so did she send Daniel and Sarah away?
I remember that part. But I feel like they came back out, and that's what I was like talking to Daniel.
Oh, well,
I don't remember the whole like bloody nose thing.
Oh, because at least with that's when Daniel gets mad and says, he basically says, I think you should leave, or, come back later or something.
Yeah.
And that's when Nicholas like puts you in kind of a chokehold and like takes you out and then just throws you out outside.
And then
like,
pulls out a gun and is like, oh, this is America.
Yeah.
And then
This
Karen.
is private property.
Yeah, exactly. And I have the right to shoot you, and I will not hesitate to exert my right. Da-da-da. And then Karen.
Yada, 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 Nicolars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was interesting. Now, after all this time, here's Mom.
It's weird that, like...
Enter Karen. Well...
Don't mind if I don't.
What are you going to say, Harry?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, the whole cult thing, it was, like, very religious. It was just, like, I saw these, like, close parallels between church and cult. And it's, like, really hard to tell the difference.
That's how they
Yeah.
use most cults.
I know.
Use
I'm
it.
They're the same picture.
I know. I'm just saying.
They're the same picture.
All right, let's get into our.
That's
our
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's get into our mommy issues. I let her try to open up to me.
Same.
Feel like I need to go through all that to get some closure. What'd you have?
Yeah.
Give her
the
an
same.
opportunity.
It was way better. I imagine it's way better story building than just like closing her out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, fuck you, let's go get Daniel.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like, ugh. Like, I feel like if we're gonna have to team up to go get Daniel, like let's try to be on the same team here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I
And
took
it was neat hearing some of the dialogue of her talking about Esteban, because it was like so long and like all this stuff, and it's like we used to fight, and then leading into the next, I smoked a cigarette with Karen.
Same.
And then she's like, your dad used to hate when I did this, and we'd get in a fight. I'd go on the front porch, light up, and then he'd come out, ask for a drag, and then we would just look at the stars. And it's like we both needed a cooling down point. All right, let's just both do this thing we shouldn't be doing, and then just kind of like squash it from there. So I mean, I really liked getting that more backstory, because then I felt like I got to hear more about Esteban, and I missed him. Like, just even myself, I'm like, man, wish he was around. He's a good dude. And then actually getting to like hear more about him and like some other things.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I dig this. And then I let her clean my face.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I did not.
I did as well.
Weird thing. So like I'm glad he like opened up with the scene, but like she's still kind of a shitty person for abandoning.
Oh, yeah.
Like because she tried several times to explain like this is why I did it, and it's like I just you're still shitty.
So like,
But
I know you're
she's
trying to
like,
explain
It's
it.
totally selfish.
It is.
What she did was selfish.
Yeah.
and he even
100%.
says it's like, that's selfish. She's like, I know. And she's the thing that got me with it, it's like she's not trying to, I don't want to say necessarily make up for it, but she's not making excuses. She's just telling you why.
She's not defending herself.
Right.
She's like, look, this is just what happened, and this is why I did this.
Yeah.
Like,
And he was like, was it
but
worth
at the
it? He
same
was like,
time, she doesn't have regrets either. Like she was committed to this.
well, she kind of has regrets. She doesn't regret leaving. She says that, but she said she does regret like not staying in touch more and not.
seeing him grow up.
Yeah.
yeah, I think like for me it was like, yeah, that's like weird that she would just leave and like whatever. Like she was clearly unhappy, and like the only way that I could give her a pass, and this is gonna sound kind of off color, is like, you know what I mean? Like if you're kind of on like that suicidal kind of verge, like, would you rather your mom leave or commit suicide? Like, and that's kind of the way I kind of was looking at it. And I was like, I'd want her to just leave.
Honestly, the whole time I was thinking that she left, and it would have been a great, easy way to work it into the story, was because she had this telekinetic power.
I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for that too.
Yeah,
It's like
when
they could
when they go out on the
easily-
cliffs together, I was like, she's like, oh, but I have something to show you guys first. It's like she has the power.
She is
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, she has powers,
but that
no,
wasn't it.
nope.
No.
Like that would have made perfect sense for the story. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
where
I
did
think
it
it's
come
like a missed
from?
opportunity
Yeah.
there in a way. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the first one there wasn't really any
disagree.
explanation of her powers.
Right. There's no explanation of
Sam.
Sam's powers.
Yeah.
And also, she's like the only one that has the powers.
Right.
Yeah. So there's just different powers.
I like there's a different supernatural element
Yeah.
in each
Yeah,
of these games.
yeah,
And I don't think that stops with the next game either.
Yeah. Morgan was. Is this the rewind one? I'm like, it's the second game to the rewind one, but
There's no rewind.
the new one doesn't have rewind. She's like, okay. Like that's that's also
you
fair.
don't really interact with the power much at all in this.
No,
You instruct Daniel to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's different. That's the you're not Daniel, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You're not the
you
one.
don't. You
who
don't
has
have the power.
Yeah, you
You
do
don't.
not have the power.
Yeah.
It's actually, and I was explaining this to my girlfriend when I was explaining the game. I was like, it's actually really interesting because it's like
mansplaining it?
no, because it's like it's a power dynamic that you actually don't get to see much. The viewpoint of the person that is not the super person in the story, but is still
Yeah, no,
has
it's-
like control, still has input on that super person's life. Because typically, like you think about it, like Alfred doesn't control Batman. You know what I mean? Like Lois Lane doesn't control Superman. No, but like,
Alfred's a fucking cuck.
hey, Alfred's the shit. But yeah, like there's like
It's a cock
there's like different
in the back cave.
That's what my wife calls it.
there's like different things about that just I think the power dynamic being off is kind of interesting.
No, it's an interesting perspective too.
Yeah.
Because like all superhero things are from the point of that
You're in
superhero,
control.
not the friend or the sidekick or the family. Like it's a different perspective on a
Right.
superpower, which is kind of cool.
Alfred's a big fan of the boat wing.
All right, where are we at with these choices?
All right, so we had it where you can either have Karen let you help clean your wounds or not. Joe said no.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, I said yes.
And then it's time to break into the compound.
Okay, so
Yeah.
one thing about the cleaning thing, so Joseph is very particular about explaining the cleaning of the wound
Joey.
when you're in the hospital. Yeah, Joey, yeah. And I was like, oh, I feel like this is gonna come up at some point, and I'm gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, I was waiting for the moment where I was like, okay,
I was like,
I'm gonna
gauze, cream, like,
saline
yeah.
solution.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
to be saline solution. I was waiting for it to be like, oh, here's like salt water and here's saline solution.
Yeah,
Which
like-
do you put in your eye?
Yeah.
Like,
No, you're
fuck.
right. They lined that up to be a very gamified mechanic where you needed to remember this.
And you
Yeah.
didn't have to
No.
do it all.
like when you
Thank
when you
God.
get beat up at the car or whatever, and like the guy like throws your medicine away or whatever. I was like, oh, now I'm gonna have to go to like a fucking CVS, and I'm gonna have to remember the cream and the saline.
They gotta get Q-tips to stick in there.
Yeah, like I thought this was the thing that was gonna happen. You know what I mean?
It's like
Yeah.
when the doctor comes in after your procedure and you're just getting off, like waking up from the anesthesia. And it's like, this is
You're
what you're
just
going to need
getting
to do.
And then like any questions, you're always like, no.
Yeah.
And then an hour-
questions. No. Yeah.
15 minutes later, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
There's a lot of pills here. Which one is?
Yeah. So yeah, now it's time. All right, we have the team because they meet up with Jacob, who was from the commune, who was initially from the cult, but now back because he didn't know what else to do. But he needs to help his little sister, Sarah Lee, and
is
all
sick.
of her baked goods with pneumonia.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you got to break into the Reverend's house to get evidence and some other shit. And
Oh God, this scene pissed me off.
so
I loved Jacob's hiding spot.
It's behind the door.
yeah,
I thought he was going to get us caught because I climbed in the closet and he's just like standing in the middle of the room. And I was like, dude.
Oh, really? What's that like?
I even got
I
back.
got caught. I got caught.
Same. Because of Jacob.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, because I saw him wandering around the room, and I was like, okay, this hiding spot, I need to find a hiding spot for both of us.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking,
So
too.
I got out. As soon as I got out of the fucking closet, the dude comes in.
No shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
See, I
And then, like, as soon as he comes in, like, Jacob, like, teleports behind the fucking door. And I was like, okay, I could have just stayed in there like a fucking idiot. But he's, like, walking around all, like, scared, like, in the middle of the room. Yeah. And then the dude barges in and he's not there. And I'm like, oh,
see, I initially
I got caught in the closet anyway, though, Joe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because I got in the closet and then I saw fucking Jacob walking around. So I'm like, do I need to prompt him? So I quick got out of the closet, went over to his character model. It did nothing. So I'm like, fucking, I'm getting back in the closet, and then went back in.
Back in the closet.
But he was he was unaware of my.
And I know. I pop in and I know.
Because the whole time, and it was in my mind since going through.
So I pull out my guns.
That series is so good.
So bad. Because my whole thing was when you were at Claire and Stevens and you went into Karen's room, I was trying to do my best of like, I think we can get in here, look at shit, and get out. So like when you're looking in the chest, I try to find a way to close it again, and it gives me nothing to close it. Or like Daniel picks up a little fucking teddy bear. It's not letting me do it. So after getting into the office and opening up the drawer, going through the files, I had turned and saw, like, with the file drawer, it said closed drawer. I'm like, oh, all right, so closed drawer. I'm like, let me check the door because the door was locked. Run over and you can relock the door and then go hide. And then that's how he was. I guess that's probably why I was not caught or he wasn't aware of my
You're
presence.
covering your tracks, essentially.
I didn't do any of that shit.
So what happens when he catches you?
Oh, he, like, throws you down and... Yeah. Then he just drags you right out into the
he drags you
church.
into the church.
Oh, okay. Because at least for mine, then he comes in, puts a document.
Oh, he punches Jacob and calls him the F word.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you find out going through the files that Jacob is gay.
Yeah, he went through conversion therapy.
Yeah,
Well, Jacob was telling us this, I think. They had a conversation.
When you find the file,
does it?
Okay. Yeah. He's like, oh,
yeah, that was
see
before
why I'm here.
Got it.
That was before, because you went in to get Sarah's file, and then Sean said, "Oh, they have a file on you too," and then that's when the conversation.
It's literally the most fucked up thing that I think churches do is the whole conversion therapy thing.
And it's like, did you tell your parents? He's like, why would I do that? They thought demons were inside of me because of this, and it's just like, that's fucked.
yeah,
So after Nicholas comes in, puts a file in like a cabinet, and then walks back out, and you're left to like explore the office and the whole house again. You open up the filing cabinet, or not the filing cabinet, but like the other cabinet that Nicholas was at, and it turns out he was putting in documents for the Reverend to adopt Daniel. Like they were like, she was going through.
Did you
like
see the
trying to
documents
adopt
that had like it was like Daniel Leichner or whatever?
Daniel Fisher or something. Yeah.
something like
And that was it's like, is that why my name tag said this? Because you're able to bring it up later in conversation. But she was trying to adopt Daniel and like going through like the certain channels and whatnot.
the paperwork.
And you can like go through her laptop and find out.
I didn't
some
do
other
any
shit.
of that shit.
Oh yeah, I rooted
You
through
probably have to succeed in hiding first.
Yeah.
And then you find like another Reverend calls out, like sends an
I saw that. Where
Yeah, I
she
saw
got,
that.
Yeah.
like, oh, about like
That was,
Sarah
like, in
and
her bedroom.
condition.
Yeah, that's in her bedroom.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because there was some other stuff like on the laptop.
You
and
can bring
whatnot,
all
but-
of that up in the conversation with her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But then
It
you
all
can also
unlocks
bring
dialogue
up about her trying to adopt Daniel, and that's when he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise, then it's just like you can still go around the house and then sneak back out, and you meet Karen in front of the church.
Wait, hold
and
on.
then the two of you go in
Hold on.
together. Okay.
That was the moment for Daniel where does he like break free and is like, we're leaving? for the
No,
adoption
there
thing?
was still some more conversation along with that because that was after Sean was getting the ever living piss beat out of him, and then it was after
Okay.
so much. Yeah, there was still a lot more that happened because then when you and Karen, or at least in mine, Karen and I went through the front doors of the church, and we see the Reverend doing like lessons with Daniel, and like has him on the ground praying, and has like shit floating around him, like some sort of
Yeah.
seance. Yeah, thank you. And then the conversations comes up. It's like, well, what do you think all that homework is that was in your room? Because you, like, if you go into like through her bedroom, find his, and it's all passages over and over. He's like, well, did you know she's trying to adopt you too? And he's like, is that why my name tag said Daniel Fisher? And then she's like, no, something, and trying to talk
Cover
her
it
way
up.
out. Yeah. And then Nicholas starts beating the shit out of you. You get back up and you go through, I'll never leave you. I'll keep coming back. You'll have to kill me.
I thought that was like probably the most powerful scene in the game.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah.
Yeah, except for the end, like the ending
one of
and
them,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But yeah, that whole scene where he is just getting beaten down and he's just like, fuck
Getting
this.
back up.
I'm a stand back up.
Yep.
I'm right here. I'm not going to fight you. But like, he's coming with me.
Right.
I wanted him to hit him so bad. I was
Yeah.
just like, just fucking hit Nicholas.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way that Nicholas could die. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Question before we get too far away from like the whole church thing. So when you're sneaking into the compound, I know you can either go left around the church or right
Yeah.
around the
It was, like
church.
it was like a guy and his kid, or the other side was just like some lady.
smoking.
Yeah.
Which did I went right, but I'm
Same.
really curious what happened going left. Did anybody go left?
I went right side, but I also went far right, and I went
Behind the building. Same.
So you,
I didn't.
Okay.
I walked right past the lady. I even talked to her.
yeah, same.
I went all the way around, and I did not alert Nicholas to my
Was
presence.
Nicholas
But he
the one on the
still came
left?
in.
Yeah, I think Nicholas is the one on the left.
That's
I think
why I
I
went
think
right.
He's playing with Sarah Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. Because I
Okay,
just
bummer.
went, I did the same as Clark. Because I started walking and I'm like, all right, well, the right seems more open. And then I kept looking right. I'm like, can I just get around that house and not have to deal with the lady? And yeah.
Okay.
So how does maybe there's a plot hole there. Like, how does Nicholas get alerted then to go search the house?
He's not alerted to go search the house. He's coming to put that file in.
Oh,
The adoption paperwork.
okay,
That's
that
what
makes
he's
sense.
why he's going into the office
Oh.
to stow it away.
Wait, how did backtracking? Because I don't think I could have locked the door because I broke the door open with the fire extinguisher.
I found a key.
Yeah, I found the key in her
Oh, I
bedroom.
didn't find a key.
found
Okay.
Yeah,
found the key
I
as
think
well.
it was in like if you walk into her bedroom, she has her desk, and it was like the upper right hand drawer has a key in it, so that way you
Okay.
don't have to break a lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did
think,
find
I
the
think I
fire
got
extinguisher.
impatient looking. I think that's what happened.
Like, fuck it. Smash.
I found the fire extinguisher and I was like, last resort.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I was like, I might be coming back for you.
yeah.
we may be friends.
Okay.
Smash.
Yeah, smash. I gave my money to Jacob. Go treat your sister.
Oh yeah. So
Same. I don't think money mattered at this point in the game
Yeah,
either.
yeah. Hold on. Let's talk a little bit about
the
like
fire and everything.
Well,
Okay.
there's
Okay.
that's also getting towards that's the very last one in the
yeah,
scrolling.
but that happens before you give the money for Jacob. So let's just
Yeah.
talk about it.
Okay.
I got very Silent Hill vibes after this whole scene. Like the movie.
Yeah.
The movie Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And her being like Dahlia Gillespie and like you just coming in and fucking shit up for this whole community.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
She's got this whole little community fucking brainwashed that she's the shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you pretty much are like, no, like you can't have Daniel. I won't accept it. Through being beaten near to death, you finally convince Daniel to come with you with the help of your mom, Karen. And when Daniel finally accepts, he's like, what the hell? And like one of the candles gets knocked over.
Well, yeah. So Nicholas pulled a gun out, I think.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah. Well, he's like beating the shit out of
he
Sean.
pistol
with the-
whipped him once or
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I think Daniel like used his power to like knock the pistol out of his hand or something.
He blew
And then it-
Nicholas all the way. Like
Yeah,
he
that's what it
shoved
was.
like the entire body. That was when Nicholas had the gun up to Sean's head. It's like
Yeah.
you'll have to kill me to stop me from coming back.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Daniel's like, Nope.
I feel like that fire could have been easily extinguished, like very quick, like a
Nobody
quick stamp on the
was like,
ground.
meh.
No one went after it.
Like they knew he was playing with candles. Like there was several people watching him hover some candles, and like,
Well, only two people would have really cared.
only
if it
two
burned
people
down.
cared at that point.
yeah.
One was busy beating up a minor with a pistol, and the other one was fucking.
He was 18 at that point.
Was he?
I think so, yeah.
He's not.
No, there's no way he aged 2 years since the beginning of this game.
Well, he's 8 years older than Daniel, and Daniel turned 10
Yeah.
while you're in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I missed his 10th birthday because they had a birthday party for Daniel while he was at the
I thought the game
compound.
started when he was 16, though. Sean.
They addressed that he was 8 years older at one point.
Yeah.
And they had the belated.
And he might have started at 8 years old. Did they really cover 2 years time span?
Well, it goes from like spring to winter to summer.
Yeah, I think it was just like one year.
Okay.
1.5 is
At any rate.
enough. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's beating the shit out of a kid.
Yeah,
he's still a kid.
Yeah, he's still a kid.
If you're 18, I'm still going to call you a kid. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so yeah.
Yeah.
Church burns down.
So yeah, this is where some other things I think can happen depending on morality and everything else. So at least with mine, both I and Daniel spared Lisbeth's life.
Yeah, I didn't kill her either.
Yeah, I knew that was heavy weighting on Daniel's turnout at this point.
Because I think if you threaten her or whatnot, I think that gives Sean the opportunity to shoot her.
Yeah. Tempting. Fucking
Oh,
tempting.
I know. I'm like, do we really need like another death on this?
Oh, see, I
It's gonna
didn't.
come
I
back?
didn't threaten her. I was just like, Daniel, open the door, and he just fucking blows the fucking door
Same
open.
thing. Well, there was the two choices. It was like you could threaten her or ask Daniel to move her, and then exactly that.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he just
it was the
pushes her
3
through the
slides.
fucking doors.
Yeah, I
So
kinda
for
remember
me,
that.
Daniel was holding her up like he was doing like a force choke in front of the door.
Okay, I
okay,
think
so
I
you
think
were-
your Daniel's starting to get a little dark.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like he was literally like force choking her, holding her in the air.
because
And she was like gasping for air.
because there's
I
two
can't wait to hear
ways.
Joe's ending.
I'm excited.
So at least with that, so he was force choking her in
Yeah.
the air. What ended up happening in the end of
So
that?
you get two choices. You can either just let him go, and he just then basically kills her, I guess.
yeah.
Or you can tell her you can tell Daniel to stop.
What'd you do?
I had him stop.
You should have committed. You were
I-
committed at that point.
I don't think it mattered.
I read about this one, and there was actually a few different ways that this could go. Because I read about that where Daniel basically force chokes her and has her in the air, and then you can have it.
You're in it.
I know.
You can have this where Daniel either just like basically snaps her neck, or depending on Sean's morality too, you can actually shoot her while Daniel has her up in a chokehold.
The double P.
And then I think that's where
Or
like
double D.
double
Diaz.
Yeah, you got double Diaz.
There'll always be a DS.
And
Nice.
I think that's where, like, if both of the brothers are just, like, not doing so great with their morals, that you just start rampaging through with that, which
Things happen.
I kind of want to pull up that video to find that. Yeah, things happen. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then meet up with Jacob, tell him, hey, keep all the money, get your sister to feel well, and then,
Yep.
at least in mine, Karen, Daniel, and Sean drive off into the desert.
Arizona.
5.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a pretty quick one. Episode 5.
It was, but I mean, I think
You can make it as long as you want, though.
Well,
that's
the
true.
initial part, like it took a while to get going. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Like do you show up at Karen's?
Camp.
Away. It's
Trailer.
called Away.
Away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're at Karen's trailer. She takes you to her trailer park. You're kind of just hanging out there for a little bit, and then Karen, like, I'm gonna cut out all the bullshit for this. Like, just we got to get moving on this.
Yeah.
Basically, she's like, hey, the cops are coming for you guys. You do a bunch of stuff there. None of it is super relevant.
You meet the neighbors, nice neighbors, put a sculpture together.
I have one question about a neighbor.
Yeah.
We brought him up earlier. David.
Yeah.
So did you guys go into...
Stepdad of Chloe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I went into his trailer and I was like, I don't really care about his family photos. Because I looked at a bunch of people's family photos and it meant nothing.
Yeah.
And then I went into his, didn't look at the photos. And I go out and then he talks about fucking Arcadia Bay. And I was like, God damn it.
If you look at the family
hold on, real quick. When you played Life is Strange, did you...
I wasn't able to transport my file.
They
don't
just ask
need
you
to.
2 questions. That's it.
In the beginning of the game, they ask you.
Okay, so let me back up then.
They ask you, did you play it?
Yeah.
And did you save Arcadia Bay?
Okay, so I didn't get those questions.
What?
Really?
Yeah. So there's the dialogue before that doesn't actually say, did you play the first one? It's like, did you play the previous season? And I was confused. Because I thought, yes,
Dumb.
I thought I
Stupid.
booted into episode 2 or something, and I was like, oh fuck, like what did I do? And I hit no, and it was like, oh, we're just gonna randomize things.
I don't think it randomizes it. I think they go with like whatever their canon is. So was Arcadia Bay there or destroyed?
Yeah, when you were going with Brody, and
there was a memorial plaque.
Okay, so that was where you sacrificed Arcadia Bay, which was pretty much
that's
what
their
I selected
canon?
too.
Their default canon?
Yeah.
Apparently.
That it's destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it would have been...
You're supposed to save your friend. I was convinced
No,
of that.
no, we're
in
not
the
doing that.
fucking
We're
game.
going to get
Okay,
into
anyway.
Last of Us conversation.
So when you go
Not
into
a single redeemable person in Arcadia Bay.
when you go into David's trailer and you look at the photos, there's like the one that was on the fridge in the first Life is Strange, where it's him, Chloe's mom, and Chloe, because it's still like the distorted kind of looking.
You can tell from the hair or whatever.
Yeah, and then he also has pictures with like of like him, Chloe, and Sam too. And like pictures of Chloe and Sam.
God damn it!
And that's where
Because I was like, I couldn't remember whose like relation he was.
Yeah.
Like when he brought it up in conversation, I was like, oh
it's
fuck!
like, that was like I was stepdad, and I'm like, stepdad, David, shit. And then even where like he's having a conversation with Sean, and he's like, oh, I'm getting a phone call, I need to go take this.
Yeah.
And it's Chloe and like him talking, and like if you have a conversation with David,
Well, it depends on if you saved Arcadia. Did you save Arcadia Bay? Mm-hmm. You saved Arcadia Bay, so Chloe's dead. Mm-hmm. How was David's conversation with you?
He was like depressed. He was like, "Oh, I really wish I could have been like more of a dad and like convinced her to like really step up as a step." The same thing he was going through in the first game, where
he
was
said similar things anyway.
Yeah, it was kind of close, I guess. Maybe it's just a matter of does he have a phone call or whatnot? Because he's
but he mentioned she's dead though in the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because you have an opportunity when you're talking to him with Sean. Of saying like, do you keep in contact? It's like, oh, we still get together every once in a while. They visited like last year for like her and her friend visited for last year. Same for like, her and Sam. And then he makes reference to like her and Sam running away. And then that's where he's like telling Sean, you can turn yourself in. You can't, what are you going to do? Just keep running? Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so basically
that was the only like kind of important thing.
Yeah. That's the only semi-important thing that happens there, other than getting closer to Karen.
Yeah.
So basically,
you hit the road.
Yeah, you hit the road. Karen says, "Hey, the cops are like on you."
Mm-hmm. Like, and David gives you
go.
kind of flashing back to him being a security guard. He gives you the
police scanner
for the road. Yeah. Yep.
So you make your way to the wall. You make it to the wall.
Daniel rips it open.
The border wall between U.S. and Mexico, to be clear.
Yep. Yeah. Daniel rips it open, and then Daniel gets shot by a bunch of fucking rednecks.
Again, with these rednecks, the vigilantes.
And again, they just go right to the racism. Like, immediately, it's just like, boom, racism.
Yeah, you're not a citizen. What the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
he's like,
I'm actually American. I'm trying to go to Mexico. And she's just like, bullshit.
Oh, then
Nailed it.
they get detained because apparently the border patrol guard that they know isn't on duty. He's
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck are you doing? Is that a kid? Did you shoot a kid? What are you doing?" And then you hear a swear, "Why you put me in handcuffs? I'm American.
We're helping you.
My rights." Brr, brr, brr.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're all in a detention center together, along with what is it? Diego and Carlita.
Is that
the
pretty
immigrants.
accurate what the wall looks like, by the way? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some parts.
Yeah, some places it's just a fence with razor wire, and other parts it's like giant metal fucking girders.
And
shit
the
like
other
that.
ones where it's just giant metal girders, but you can squeeze between them.
Yeah. But those, to be fair, most of that fenced area that's just like, chain link fence with razor wire and the parts where you can just squeeze through, most of that is actively patrolled by armed guards and volunteers, which are the rednecks pretty much.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes, I intervened with Diego.
So did I. This shit's getting out of hand. It's like, calm down. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I was like, fuck these motherfuckers for shooting Daniel. Like, and that was my whole...
I stayed out of the argument.
I think I just missed the prompt. It was timed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
timed.
I missed it. I was like trying to read because...
A lot of some of these in the later episodes were more timed than
Well,
others.
also I feel like they gave you both of the things in Spanish, so I was trying to read the subtitles fully. It wasn't just like
So-
intervene and this. It was like
Yeah.
blah 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 in
it gave you
Spanish
both.
and blah 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 in Spanish, and I was like
Yeah, you're right.
I was like trying to read the subtitles, and then like it was like, oh, decision's gone. I was like, okay, well,
Read faster, Clark.
no, I don't want to read faster.
Who did you free from the cells?
No one.
I freed the Mexican couple.
Same.
I didn't free anybody.
I freed everybody.
Oh, how'd that go?
You're a
I
fucking
wanted
crazy person.
I wanted to fuck with those rednecks' mind and be like, you know what? Boom. Now you figure this out. That's just going to fuck their entire world over. So actually, the way that turned out, Mexican couple runs out,
Yep.
and then you open up when I open the vigilante cell, they're just standing there like, what? First, flabbergasted the fact that this kid just broke open a cell with his mind. Two, like they were just standing there in shock, and super racist one was like, what? Why did you do that? And just like completely different state of mind, emotion, and everything else that she was in the entire time. And then the guy was like, thank you. That was it.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't want to jump too far ahead, but I do like the scene where you're getting interrogated in thing, and you can just hear shit going on in the
Yeah.
police station. You know Daniel's coming
Like
for you.
explosions
Yeah.
and shit.
I thought that was kind of a cool.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
setup.
it was cool, and just like the lights
lights
flickering,
flickering,
they're flickering and
then
shit.
the second time it happens, and the cop's like looking around, he's like, "What the hell is
You
that?"
hear,
And I
like,
was just
yelling off
I was
in the
like,
distance.
"Buddy,
Sean's like,
you're
"You don't
about
wanna
get
know."
fucked."
Yeah, he's like,
You were about to get bent over and fucked, sir.
boom, door opens, slams the cop.
Boom, fucked.
Yeah.
I know. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right, well, since you guys didn't let him out, did you ask Daniel to hurt the vigilantes? Okay.
I just left.
I was curious.
I left everyone where they were. I was like, look, we don't need any more crimes. We're about to break out of a fucking. We don't need to let other people that are under arrest out. Either side, and don't kill anybody on the way out. And that's what I did. I didn't kill the guards on the way out.
How did you get the
escape?
guards to stop then? Because I didn't ask them to kill the officer. I had Daniel throw him in a closet. Like as they started, when they're doing their thing where they're walking forward and you're trying to search around the room, if they get like halfway up the room, there's like an open closet door, and you can have Daniel like fling both of them in the closet, shut the door, drop a filing cabinet in front of it so you can run out the front.
Daniel just pushed him back.
Yeah, that's what
Didn't
I saw.
hurt him.
I kept throwing items at
Yeah,
him.
I tried to get every item in the room thrown at them,
Yeah.
and they just weren't taking it.
Gotcha.
And then they get so close that Daniel's just like,
He just intervenes anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just pushes him back though. He doesn't kill him or anything.
Gotcha.
And he specifically is like, "Did I hurt them?" And Sean's like, "Mm."
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Daniel wasn't asked to kill the officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now.
So back on the road.
These last two are kind of linked.
Yeah. So now they took a truck from the parking lot, and now they're heading to like the actual guarded border between the U.S. and Mexico, and here's where the final decision comes into play. So you can either decide to force the roadblock, and Daniel accepted. Decide to force the roadblock, Daniel refused. You decided to surrender to the police, and Daniel accepted. You decided to surrender to the police, and Daniel refused. I want Joe to go last, if that's okay with the rest of the group.
I think we all probably got the same one then.
Did you get the same as Harry?
I don't know.
I had it on screen, but
I forced the roadblock, and Daniel refused.
Same.
Yeah, so at least same here. So with that, it's
okay.
basically...
I did not do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was... so for at least mine is you ask Daniel to force the roadblock. He says he refuses. He actually does still, like, he moved all the cars and people out of the way. He didn't kill anybody, but he got them out of the way, blasted the fence open, and right as Sean was about to drive through...
Surrenders.
He
gives
rolls
himself
out of
up.
the car.
He rolls out,
Daniel
yeah.
looks over at Sean and he says, "Don't come back for me." Blast open the passenger side door
And just rolls out.
And then just says, "I hope you're happy in Mexico." Sean keeps driving off, and then the cops and agents come around Daniel with like guns drawn.
Flores
and,
is there.
Yeah, Flores is there,
yep.
and
So she arrests him
and handcuffs him.
Yep.
Wow.
Roll into
He gets put on probation though.
Yeah, roll
He has
into
an ankle brace.
because
there's
they-
a very important thing.
okay.
There's a very important thing that gets said by
The cop in the
interrogation room. He's just like, "You're going to go to jail, Daniel. He's too young.
he's too young to be prosecuted.
Yeah, he won't even go to juvie." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly.
so when Daniel was like, I'm not going across," I was like, I think this is the best ending. I honestly do.
I think it is.
Same.
Yeah.
So at least with that, then it goes through like the pictures and memories. At least like showing Daniel staying with Claire and Steven.
And he's using his powers actively in the house to move stuff
yeah,
around
like,
for
Claire.
Claire.
Around and
Claire's
whatnot.
fine with it.
Steven's out mowing the grass. He's fine. Claire comes home. You can see Daniel talking on the phone. He hands the phone to Claire. It says "Mom" on it. So Claire's now talking with Claire and got that relationship. And then Claire hands...
What were your two pictures?
in the envelope that
Yes.
Claire was getting there. So Claire hands Daniel an envelope, unmarked return address, but just to them, opens it up, and there's two pictures. And one was, I think, of the beach, and the other was Sean with Cassidy.
Oh.
So they were together in the end. And then...
Yep.
It's an
and then-
option to have Sean with Lila at the end as well.
Yes.
If you don't romance Cassidy.
And there's
Yeah.
also
which
an
I wish I would have done.
there's
I
a-
thought she was a cooler.
there's
Who,
same.
Cassidy?
No, Lila. I
Lila.
thought she was a cooler character.
She was.
Oh,
She
really?
was
I
be-
thought Cassidy was cooler.
She was better fit for Sean. She'd keep him straight. Or there is one where it would actually be
Finn.
Sean and Finn.
Yeah.
In the end, and then Daniel kind of like tilts
Butt
the
buddies on the
envelope,
beach.
and it just has like a pile of sand in the hand, meaning like we made it to
Puerto Lobos.
Did you guys look the endings up?
Yeah.
I did. I watched.
seen them all.
I watched all of them today when I was helping
Why
out
you
with
guys
the
would
craft
stop
show.
doing that? It takes the excitement away.
Well, I don't know which one.
I don't.
you got.
I didn't
Yeah,
know it. So
You
blow
did
my
it?
mind.
So I won't say a thing.
Okay.
So that is that. Well, not you because you didn't fuck Cassidy.
That's
you got,
the exact same
That's
ending
the exact
I
I got. You don't have to fuck her.
with
Oh,
Cassidy.
Cassidy still showed up for you?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All you have to do is stay in contact with Cassidy. You have to pretty much not piss her off to the point where she tells you to fuck off.
All right, perfect. Now,
I will tell you, at the end of the game, the only thing that I cared about for Sean specifically was that he and Cassidy were still together.
okay.
Or they met back up.
I want to hear where Joe went.
Okay, so I had you decided to surrender to the police, and Daniel refused.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit. And then and Harry, you don't know. Oh, yeah, God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell him.
Please tell me.
Tell him.
Okay, so you're at the border. right?
Is this the worst of the endings?
Yeah,
too?
just listen.
Just listen. Just listen to it.
So you're at the border, okay? Just like you guys were. Same kind of scenario up to then, right? Car stops at the border. Agent Flores is there, yelling at you to get out the car, surrender, blah, blah, blah. You pick surrender, and you go to open the door, and Daniel force closes the door.
Dark.
Then Daniel controls the steering wheel with his force powers and pushes the gas pedal with his powers and rams all of the cops. And as he's driving at the cops are fucking shooting the car up. And Daniel's force blocking all of the bullets, pushing cars out the way, like killing cops everywhere. And then blows the gate open, okay? And as you get through the gate, Daniel looks at Sean, and Sean is shot right in the jugular. Dead.
Jesus.
Before he looks over, Daniel says, "We made it. We finally made it to Mexico."
Yeah.
And then looks over,
And Sean's
and
like,
Sean still alive.
just yeah, he's gurgling. He's like,
God.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So again, Mushroom, not the worst scene.
this is a little bit more graphic than Mushroom.
And then
Jesus.
and then the after.
So question about your ending first before I go further.
Okay.
How much time passed in your ending and the
Oh, a
explanation?
couple
of what's
years.
7 years.
Okay.
So it's I think it's Daniel's 16th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way,
Because he just gets a car
Yeah.
and he's still in house arrest.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
okay.
it was like. Yeah.
Okay, so it's about the same for my ending, right? So a bunch of time passes, right? And before they show Daniel and what he's doing, they kind of pan over newspaper clippings and shit on a wall about like all these things that have happened in Mexico. He's in Puerto Lobos, and like he's drug dealing, he's like robbing banks, he's like in like a cult, like not a cult, but like a gang and shit like that. And like it's fucking wild. And then like when it ends, like he's just like walking on the beach, and he like walks up to like a pseudo gravesite for Sean. And then like he's got like a teardrop tattoo on his eye.
He's all vatoed now.
Yeah, dude.
With like long blonde hair.
Yeah,
It's
got,
like it's like bleached.
blonde
bleach
hair,
blonde
bleach
hair.
blonde hair.
His roots are like black though and shit. Anyways, so he's like saying hi to Sean, like he's at his grave, like just on the beach. And then like these 3 other gang members like walk up to him to start fucking with him and shit like that. And he's like, just not today. And then like he just like fucking blows them away.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on.
there's-
the craziest fucking part is he blows the 2 guys away, and this other dude's standing there with a gun, and he just forces the guy to put the gun up to the bottom of his chin and walks past him, and then it just lowers to his trigger finger, and he just pulls the fucking trigger, and he drops.
It's fucking wild.
that's
Yeah.
fucking badass.
Yeah, it is.
ending,
It's-
though.
yeah, it is. So
Jesus.
there were 2 other endings then. One of them was the surrender, but Daniel accepts.
Right.
So Sean is arrested. Daniel goes to his grandparents again, stays there, and then it shows 15 years later, because Sean was sentenced to 15 years in prison for everything, and it's Sean coming out of jail, reuniting with Karen, Daniel, and possibly Lila, depending on what your decisions made. It shows Sean and Daniel going camping to Pride Rock, basically, like where they were in
Karen
the
took you or
beginning.
whatever.
no, where they went,
where they went the
were
very
in
the first night
episode.
Oh,
on
okay.
the
The
trail.
little cave that they found.
Yeah, they go back to the cave.
Yeah, where Daniel made like the fortress so no one
Yeah.
get in. Yeah. And Sean has like a mental fucking breakdown, like PTSD, and just starts like really reclusing into himself and almost like crying, putting his head on Daniel's shoulder. And then they both get in their cars afterwards, and
Go their separate
Sean
ways.
drives off, and Daniel howls and then makes his own way, and then they just basically separate from there. And then there's the ending where you say run the blockade, and Daniel accepts, and Daniel fucking destroys everything in front of him. just like Joe's. All these cops are dead. Blows open the fence, and then it shows that they made it to Porto Lobos, opened up their own garage, Diaz repair shop, where Sean works on cars, and
and Daniel's a bodyguard
is there
because a bunch of Vatos show up again, and he fucking
try to
just
rob
takes
him
out. Yeah,
and then Daniel's in the back, and then just sees Sean like walking back like this, and then Daniel comes around, and they look at Daniel like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" And it's just fucking blasts him away, and then they're just like cheersing on the beach, like with a couple beers, like in the back of their house, just watching the sun.
we did it.
Yeah.
That's not a bad ending.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's not the worst ending. It's like at least they're still together. No one's
the
dead.
B ending.
Joe,
I think that's
got,
the B ending.
Yeah.
I think the A ending is them being separated,
but still alive.
both still alive. Because when Daniel's 18, he'll get off a house arrest and he can go be with Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole family could go visit him if they wanted
Yeah.
to.
Right.
They just can't. He can't come to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Joe got the worst fucking ending.
Oh yeah. That's fucking dark.
Yeah,
That's crazy shit.
I was
Yeah.
like, I literally got
I'm gonna
done,
have to watch it.
I got done playing it at like 10 last night, and I was like, God damn, these games are making me fucking cry, dude.
I know.
Oh, that's insane.
I'm sitting there at the craft show seeing that, and I'm like, I can't fucking weep right now. I gotta talk to customers and shit. This isn't going to be a good look. But yet, I just YouTube Life is Strange 2, Episode 5, all endings. It's like 42 minutes for all of them. But I like it because at least if there's different variants, depending on your decisions, it'll get to the point, show you one, go back to that point, show you another, go back to the point, show you another, and then the rest of the actual ending, just to show here's all of the possibilities of what could have happened. It's definitely worth the watch.
cool.
Holy shit, story.
Yeah. So sorry, I got a couple questions I wanted to hit with story real quick before we move on.
Let's do it.
So was this a good story, or the writers holding you emotionally hostage? And let me preface that real quick. There's a show, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It was it was on NBC.
To Catch a Predator.
No.
That was on MSNBC.
No, it's so close.
Oh fuck, I forget what it's called. But they went over the top where they wanted to make such an emotional impact on the viewer that they went too far, and they were doing it just to make an emotional impact and not write a good story. So I was just saying, like, trying to explain that, like, did they do a great job with the story, or were they trying too hard to evoke emotion?
I think they did a good story.
Yeah, I think it's a good story.
I mean, I know there's some things in there that they put in, and I think you're just still upset about Mushroom. But I also,
I'm trying to be unbiased with these questions.
I got you. But I also knew it's like as soon as like the dog and like I saw the relationship between like him, like the dog and Daniel, I'm like, that dog is not making it till the end of the game. When is it happening? But I don't think it's so much of having you emotionally like forcing you in that aspect, because you're still choosing how you want to approach those emotions. So I think by not giving you the opportunity to completely shut down Karen or shut out, the others around you, to not have those options, then I would think would be forced, but just still giving you the openness of saying, no, you know what? Fuck you for walking out on me. And I'm just using this one as an example because it's a big one. Fuck you for walking out on me. I don't care about your life. I don't care what you do. Just help me get my brother. Then I think that still leads into being able to give you a good story.
Yeah, I think the writing and then story is good because, again, some of those emotional things, like outside of Mushroom, like, don't necessarily happen, right? So they kind of have to write a good story. Mm-hmm. And I think, I think they did it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of emotional impact in this game too, but
yeah,
I don't think it's unwarranted.
Yeah, I feel like that's like almost like a soap opera, like
okay.
Whereas I don't think this is a soap opera. I feel like this is Well, so because of like they show you the statistics at the end and things like that, I view these games a lot like thought experiments. They're seeing in these situations what, what do people do? Like what would you do thrust into this situation, like, and stuff like that. Like I always try to play these games as if, and typically I don't play them multiple times. I play them once and that's my playthrough. That's the book that I read. That's the that's the movie I watched. That's my canon. Yeah,
that's your story for this.
Yeah, and that's it. With the exception of Until Dawn, because that's just a fun game to play. But and I wanted to see everything in Until Dawn.
Right.
I think it makes for a good story when they can have emotional depth. But I don't believe that they're just doing things to pull pure emotion out of people.
Okay. Fair enough. I guess I'll just do a quick blurb just so we can move on. Maybe it was my expectation after playing the first one. It kind of lifted the veil on the emotional impact a little bit. Like I was expecting it more. Like the first one, I thought it was just kind of subtly in the story. Like that's just part of the great storytelling. This I felt like it was like a characteristic of their storytelling. It was
what's the next bad thing that's going to happen?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So I saw it coming a little bit more. So maybe it like it was like the same formula as the first one. I was just a little bit more aware of the expectations, I guess.
Their style.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you could say that with any, sequel / franchise.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah, and again, I think it's only going to be enhanced further with the third one,
especially one like this where it's so story driven and not like as gameplay driven, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a quick one. So this one was different in the first one. Like this one had the jumps in time between chapters to really kind of separate the
Chapter. Can't let it go.
Can't let him go. I tried to sneak by.
First they talking.
If I just keep talking, no one will hear me say it.
We all try that. We all get called out.
I know.
Don't look at Clark. Don't look at Clark.
You smirked immediately.
Yeah, he did. As soon as I saw his smile, I'm like, I'm saying it.
I heard chapters. And I was just like,
all right, so the time frames in the jumps in
Episodes.
time versus the linear, very like blended. Like did you guys have any preference, or did this work, or?
I think it works because there's traveling.
Okay.
Like, right. So
Yeah.
the first one, there's no like travel. Like you travel around town, but like you're going from like the pool to the dormitory, right?
making my way.
You're yeah, right. You're not going from Northern California to Nevada. You know what I mean? Like, because if they didn't time jump, like the game would either be really long or be kind of convoluted with the traveling otherwise.
Right.
So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think the time gaps were necessary to tell this story the way that it did, and for like their end goal of what they were going for. So, I don't feel like I really lean one way or another. I think it just kind of, what is trying to be delivered, dialogue story wise and whatnot, and what's going to be more appropriate for it. And I think the way they did one and the time frame they did was spot on. And I think the way they did this one for what's being done was also spot on, even though they were, kind of two different avenues that were taken for it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were doing the longer time, the longer distance, shorter time jumps, because there's a lot of traveling in cars in this, they would at least be like, okay, we're going to take this like 9 hours in the car. We're going to give you like a 2-minute video with some like just like subtle music and just like some things going on. We're going to show you some pretty sights of the places that they're going through, and that's that.
Yeah, it could put you in like the kind of road trip mood.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually let you know how much time passed in between it, instead of just, which I think it'd be stupid not to do that anyway, but it's like, all right, how long has this been?
Yeah.
Kind of
No,
put it in perspective.
I think the cuts were more defined than the first game. Like,
Yeah.
if I recall a certain scene from the first game, like I couldn't tell you what chapter that was in because
Yeah.
it was all kind of blended. But this felt like, oh, I know what segment of the game is because the setting was completely different
Right.
in each chapter as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Were the characters believable, or were there too many annoying stereotypes?
So I thought there were stereotypes and things like that. However, I think they were, for lack of a better term, done right. Right? They were in the right environment for the stereotype. Like, for instance, like the hippies working on the pot farm. Like, you're not going to have...
That's been happening in Humboldt County for
like
decades.
years. Yeah.
If it wasn't hippies, that would feel out of place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a bunch of just like stoners, like it's literally like hippie communes like all around Humboldt County in the redwoods that do that shit. Yeah.
So like, and that's kind of the obvious example, right? But I think they did that well. You know what I mean? Like, again, the border wall, yeah, that's a stereotype. But like, guess what? That's also a fucking thing that happens.
It's a yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a real thing.
Like
down there.
they're pulling from real things, you know, putting stereotypical characters in them. But guess what? Those people exist.
Yeah, so
They're real.
The so like, the thing. It's kind of like the reason that like people find stereotypes offensive is because there's a lot of truth in those stereotypes, and people don't like to actually like talk about the fact that like they're offended because there's some truth to it. And like, yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes in this game. All of the stuff that happened with the stereotypical people in this game is super believable. Super believable.
Yeah, there was the comment where maybe it was Brody or something. It's like, when he knows that they were from Seattle, and it's like, when you start getting out into like rural country, it's different.
Yeah,
and
he was like, watch your back.
And that is some truth. You live in like the cities or even like some of the suburbs. It's like, yeah, okay, you're going to find this. You start getting into some
people aren't going to be as
back
accepting
roads
as they are in Seattle.
It's going to be quite little different there than you know what you may be used to and whatnot. So,
Okay. I honestly, I really didn't have an opinion on this one. I just wrote the question to spark conversation.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
But I did want to mention something that I think is kind of unique to this game. Every chapter is a fresh batch of characters. Like, characters don't really blend from chapter to chapter. It's like, this is your set characters for this chapter.
Well,
this is your...
You have like...
Sean and Daniel are in every chapter.
Well, yes.
Boom.
Fight supporting characters.
Yes.
Yeah, Jacob,
you got him, Clark.
Jacob
Fucking
transitions.
got him.
Jacob's barely in chapter 3, though.
Well, he's
But,
barely
yeah.
in chapter 4 as well.
Well,
but
that's also, you could say the same for Cassidy,
Mushroom.
but there's... She made it through 1 1/4.
Can you imagine if there was a
she
way?
transitioned from episode 1 to episode 2 to that cougar's belly.
In yours, that cougar didn't get to eat that dog.
All right, so series of tragic events. I think we already touched on this. Like, what impacted you the most? And
Yeah,
I
I
think
kind of
we
touched
all
on that.
kinda-
yeah, we already did that.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we end
The
story
podcast.
there?
This is going to be a two-parter, guys. Come back for the 15-minute review of the rest of the game.
Yeah. All right, why don't we use some telekinesis, throw some rocks into gameplay.
Gameplay.
All right, we're doing gameplay.
You walk around and you click on shit. Done.
Yeah, let's move on. Move on.
Okay, so one gameplay thing that I thought was dumb.
Oh, God, Joe, come on. I just busted your balls,
So
man.
I thought the drawing was cool.
Yeah, no, it was.
The act of drawing via the controller sticks was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
It was like flick, 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 flick,
Yeah,
flick, flick, flick.
man,
Yeah.
they could have made it better.
Like
That was so half-assed. It was
the
ridiculous.
first time I tried the drawing was just like little bits, like little back, little left and right, and then like the second time I'm literally just going up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, and continuing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I just got this done so much faster.
What you did on the controller had no bearing on what you drew.
No.
Yeah.
Because like the first one, I was like, okay, let me hit left. Maybe that draws to the left. No, none of that.
Yeah, no, it just starts left to right and
It's
just
Just flick that stick and he's just gonna draw shit.
Yeah.
The one opportunity, you can whip it out and say you drew a picture with your deck.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Um.
Don't touch the
Outside of that, yeah, just a lot of walking around and interacting with objects.
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically the game.
Actually, one thing that was a little frustrating, when there's a cluster of items, trying to select the one that
Oh,
you want.
yeah. The whatever was in focus, the item
Yeah.
focus was bad. Well, not great. It wasn't
It was
bad,
just finicky.
It was finicky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of indicators in your menu. Like every time you start a new chapter, there's like
There's like
800
20 new
things.
drawings
Yeah, that's
that
like-
you drew during the
I just
gap between
flipped
episodes.
through
Yes.
just to because that icon was going to drive me nuts if it.
Yeah, it
every
was
time
really
I went-
annoying.
Oh, I looked at it all.
I was pissed at that missing string thing that I had starting episode 2.
Yeah, that sucks.
Where I had no item descriptions that entire. Now, when I started episode 3, everything was okay again.
Oh, what
it was
object
like
was it? Did
episode
you
2
compare?
got-
Did you know?
No,
What object was the missing string?
everything was the missing string.
Oh, you had no.
Everything wasn't
everything.
working.
I,
That's amazing.
the only thing that actually popped up with something was I think Jen's note was the only thing that worked in episode 2. Every
Could you interact with it or nothing?
No, I mean I could open it up and it would have like if you
Yeah, I
clicked
saw
on an
this.
item.
It said like missing string or whatever. But if you click could you highlight it and click read or anything?
No, well, you could highlight it, and then when you went to click read, that's when the missing string, would pop up. And then,
Rough.
but if I just Jen's note, it's like, wow, this seems like so long ago. Everything else, fucking nothing. But then as soon as it hit episode 3, everything was okay.
That
again.
shit was pretty much pointless anyway.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
the whole backpack thing outside of checking how much money you had.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I had
I
fucking Daniel's toys in there until the fucking end.
I mean, I just wanted to check to see
Yeah,
what was
that's
in
true.
there, and if it's still just a game mechanic that's not working, it's annoying. And then I read online, and apparently that was a huge issue with episode 4 when it first came out, where so many people had a problem, and there was like a long forum with like the developers going back and forth. So that's my gripe, where it's like, what the fuck is this? But
Yeah.
it's not really going to have like an overall effect on the game as long as my decisions
Yeah.
and everything still went through, and that's the only thing that really fucking mattered in the end.
Outside of the beginning of the game, when you're like actually packing your backpack, the stuff that was in your backpack had no bearing on anything.
No, I mean some of the dialogue stuff would change as it progressed through and whatnot. Like every time you looked at your dad's lighter, that would the text for it would change a little bit, or when you had his picture and going through and whatnot. So yeah.
There was a whole bunch of random shit in there that I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. But I mean, really, there's not much to the gameplay other than walk, click, listen to story, make decisions
Yeah.
with that.
Yep.
Try to keep your controller from turning off.
Well, you only had that problem.
Well, yeah, I didn't play on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That controller has like a 20-minute timeout by default, so
No.
you just won't have it.
Let's clip some bubs.
Click some bubs.
Click
Some boobies.
some buds.
They took my chapters and clipped my boobs.
and discuss graphics.
Graphics.
I thought the graphics were okay. I didn't really think it was like a huge upgrade from
No, it wasn't.
the other one.
Honestly,
more artistic
it's
style.
their art style. I feel that they're just trying to stay consistent with.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I would.
I
hope it
respect
would
that
be.
though.
Some
It's
stuff
fine.
like art style is one thing, but like some stuff was kind of dumb. Like how
Sean's face sometimes. He's just like,
how rigid the clothing was kind of bothered me sometimes.
oh yeah.
Like it would clip all the time, or like after Daniel got shot in the arm,
They
his shirt was cut obviously to like bandage him or whatever, but like the scraps of his shirt were very stiff and would float in the air all the time.
Yeah.
I noticed this, that they went out of their way to not make things like baggy, or like they went out of their way to not add physics to certain things. Like when they went and got groceries at one point, and he's just like, oh yeah, this brown paper bag, and he lifts up the paper bag, and instead of it just crumbling a little bit, or like anything, it just was like super stiff, and
like
he's
cardboard.
just like
Yeah.
it's like made out of fucking cardboard, and he sets it down and starts picking his stuff out of it.
Yeah.
No wrinkles, no rustling, no movement. Like it's just like
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Like there wasn't much.
that's kind of like corner cutting a little bit in
A
games
little
like
bit.
this. But this is also not a AAA title. I can forgive some of that stuff just because they don't have the same budget as the bigger titles that should 100% hit those things that I'm talking about.
I haven't looked up the sales numbers either, but I feel like there was a long gap, I feel, on games. So like they did Life is Strange 1, what was that, like 2015?
No idea.
2000,
I would be totally guessing.
I think it was like 2013.
But like this I think came out in 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But then this one just came out like the newest one just came out recent. Like
True Colors.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like there was a gap in between the first and the second one there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, artistic style is one thing, but like when you have like things clipping and stuff, that's not artistic style to me.
No, I gotcha.
That's- And it's not really engine problems because it's Unreal 4. Like it's that you didn't implement the things that Unreal 4 can do.
That's
Right.
fair.
You know.
I did notice that Daniel wandered in weird places for me a couple times. Remember when they had that
teleported
first...
a few times for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
First
Yeah.
Life is Strange is 2015. The first episode of this came out in 2018,
Okay.
Okay.
and it was completed in 2018.
Okay.
All right.
I guess it's not a huge delay.
And the
then.
new it's 3 years. They're putting out a game every 3 years,
Okay. All right.
and they just remastered Life is Strange as well.
Yeah.
There's a brand new remaster that came out this year.
You're right. He would just kind of like float out there, and then you call out to Daniel, and then all of a sudden, he's here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Oh, and you do see Sean's eye in one of the endings when he makes it to Mexico, but nobody comes to join him. He just sends a picture of himself, and it's just like nothing on his eye.
Oh,
no
okay.
glass eye or anything else. It's just like a dark blot where his eye should be.
In the ending that has him working in the mechanic shop, he has a black glass eye with a white iris.
Badass Porto Lobos. Yeah, I mean, graphics, it's what I expected from the game. Like, I didn't think it was going to be like, any like super high jump in quality or whatnot. Not saying it's bad, but it's just what I expect from them. It's like certain developers have just a certain look, and that's just what they're going to use anyway. So,
One thing I did want to notice or mention, so they spent a lot of research time on the first game studying the Pacific Northwest, and I don't think that was wasted here. I think they carried it because like the first two chapters are kind of
yeah.
up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And you can use some of that in California, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was I think they made it a very intentional starting point of like Seattle. Like they could have started anywhere in the U.S. and have it travel, but I think that it was very intentional to make it in Seattle because of that.
Yeah, when they hit the desert and like when Karen took them up, and it's like here's nature's like painting when it was like the sun setting like on the canyon and whatnot. That was captured very well. I mean, it's like when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I remember seeing that before, and it's like it really kind of hits it in like the certain lights and whatnot, where it looks completely different than in like the full daytime.
Yeah, the environments had a to me, almost a different tier of quality against like the actual character models.
Yeah, that'll give. Like they paid more attention to like the actual surroundings and environment rather than the characters themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They look kind of like the next gen Telltale game series. Like if
Kind of.
somebody was to buy those games and like up-res them a little bit. I don't know.
It's I mean, Telltale's like
it's a
cell
different
shading, but
it's a different art style.
yeah.
Let's hitch a ride and talk some audio.
Got it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Audio.
So as you mentioned with the Daniel thing, how we would like kind of wander. The thing that bothered me about that the most was the audio with it. There wasn't like sometimes there was directional audio. Most times there wasn't.
Seriously, it was so annoying.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. Like when you're walking around away.
Yeah.
Like it's super directional until it's not.
Yeah,
and
like,
then you're just like, what?
When
the
you're
fuck's
far from
happening?
something, it works better. But
Yeah.
like as soon as you get close to it, you can't tell. Like if you turn or whatever, like it's not. You can't tell that like Daniel's on your right or whatever. It's just it doesn't work.
It's all of a sudden coming from every single direction. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
He's speaking from directly above you the entire time.
Daniel's inside you the whole time.
Oh shit.
And the other thing that was on top of that, it was like sometimes, like moving further away from characters, the audio would get quieter. Sometimes it wouldn't,
Yeah.
depending on like the dialogue that was happening. That was kind of weird.
Wasn't a whole lot of consistency with that.
No, yeah. It was kind of all over the place, and it was like again, it's like kind of one of those things that's like small, but it's still immersion breaking to me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And especially one of these like a game like this, like the immersion breaking stuff is important because again, we're not playing this for the gameplay. We're playing it to be immersed in the environment and the story, and it's like, come on.
Yeah. Gives you more time to kind of pay more attention to things like that.
Yeah, because a lot of time you are just standing there listening to dialogue.
Yeah.
And if you just like pan around or you're looking around a room while they're talking, like it's weird.
I will say that I don't think the music is as good in this as it was in the first one. Like the first one, I walked away with like a few songs on on my playlist, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I like these. Like the endings had two very distinct, different songs and stuff like that. This one just seems like they went with like less licensed music, I guess, and they maybe didn't have an artist that was making all of the music for this season.
Outside of the Cassidy stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just didn't resonate with me at all in any sort of like, it's not bad, it's just not
Memorable.
Yeah, it's not super memorable. I think it fits. One thing that I did think was interesting though is that like very slow like guitar theme
For like the intro and whatnot, or like the
the
main screen.
No, not the main screen. The one that's like in transitions. No. Like I'm saying like the really slow guitar. That is used in other stuff. I've heard it in other things. Specifically 1899 on Netflix.
Oh, I watched that, by the way. We should talk later.
Yeah, sure.
Not tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, like that song is literally used in 1899. So I guess that's licensed, but it doesn't seem like it because it kind of seems almost like elevator music-y, like Muzak.
Yeah. I
But-
don't know.
Love me some music.
Check your ending credits and see if there's anything that crosses over.
So a little different than your experience with the audio. So I do think the soundtrack is better in the first one, although I did really like the soundtrack in this. And just a 1-for-1 comparison, I grabbed 3 songs off of the first one that are on my Spotify list now, and I also have 3 songs from this one that are on my Spotify list. So if you're counting in that way, I've gotten 3 solid songs from both games that I now regularly listen to. The character audio, the voice acting, I do think was a slight step up from the first one. Not the performances per se, but I think the dialogue writing was better. And even how they subtly, like, they didn't lean into the Mexican American thing in like a super artificial way.
Yeah.
It did seem like genuine, where they're kind of speaking in like Spanglish a little bit, like bouncing back and forth.
The Enano thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even how like Daniel would say Spanish words every once in a while, but he clearly admitted towards the end of the game, I can't speak Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like,
We're going to Mexico. I can't speak any Spanish.
so in that way, I do think that was an improvement from the first game in certain ways.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about like the music itself. I mean, I'll be honest, it like nothing really like sat in my mind or resonated. Really, just sits here. I have the opening intro like guitar riff that's in there, and that they licensed DANCE.
How did that go?
Oh, yeah, I got that song when that came out. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck did this come from? I wasn't. It's like, okay.
It was
all right,
strange
whatever.
placement, honestly.
Yeah.
It caught me.
Yeah.
The tone was a little off with that one.
Yeah, I didn't really get that one. Voice acting was okay, but I would agree, like the actual dialogue and the way that was written seemed to be done, like better than anything else than what I would say, which is important because that's your fucking story.
Are we ready for final thoughts?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's cross the border. Final thoughts. Let's do it.
Oh, what if we don't make it?
Well, technically he made it. He just didn't live.
You.
I have not accepted final thoughts.
Black.
Bail.
Moving into the score.
Final thoughts.
Really quick before I forget.
God. Synopsis 2.
No.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
So I'm digging this game on points on a technicality. I bought the disc, right? On Amazon, got it shipped and everything. I get to chapter 5. I have to download Chapter 5 and pay for it.
What?
It is not included with the disc. I flipped it over. It's chapters 1 through 4.
What?
They released this before the 5th chapter was polished enough to put
Remember
it on
how
the
you were
disc.
like, it was cheaper to buy the disc?
Yeah. So I probably broke even.
Jesus Christ, no wonder it was cheaper.
You
So
didn't.
I was pretty pissed.
I bet.
And I went on some forums to like look it up, like if like this is a true thing. And there were some people defending it, like, oh, the planning and everything. Those people got fucking roasted by the rest of the people on the forum.
Yeah.
They were like, shut the
so
fuck up.
So this is part of your final thoughts, yes?
Yeah. So, yeah, I just want to get that out. I meant to put it in game development, but left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, it should have been automatically free just by picking up, like, oh, you bought the disc. Like, here, you can have this 5th one free. It really pissed me off.
I could just
with
see
this game.
Harry there when it
you
hits and he goes to, and it's like, oh, what the
Are
fuck?
you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
Do you still need the disc in to play the 5th chapter?
I don't know. I just left it in. Like, I wasn't.
Okay.
But
That's what I do
But
sometimes
other than that,
too.
I enjoyed the story. I'm
Bad
gonna
boys
have to.
don't like that.
What's that?
No, it's
Talking about
responding
pussy.
to- responding to Steve.
I did genuinely like the story. I think I still like the story more in the first one. There's a couple things that edge out in the first one a little bit more than the second one. But genuinely, I do still think this is a great story, and I'm glad they decided to take it in a completely different direction, but keep a lot of the same formula there. So, great game, but man, oh man, did they piss me off.
I did enjoy playing the game. It definitely grabbed me on like one or two emotional points, like on a few of them. And like I said, I had to hug my dogs, hug my dad, and I have no dead brother to hug, so that's okay too. It just really, I don't know. I feel like I was left wanting maybe just like a little bit more depth in like some of the characters, but it was okay. But I'll leave it there. That was my final thought. It's okay.
Joseph?
Like I said, I was looking forward to playing this game. I really enjoyed this game. I think they did a lot different than the first one that like I wasn't expecting. I feel like there was a lot more diversity and things that could happen. At least it felt that way through conversation here tonight. So I appreciate that. But overall, I enjoyed my time with it.
Cool. Clark?
I enjoyed my time with it, and I definitely think that it's a solid game. It's hard not to compare this to other games that are exactly like it, like the first one, Road 96, Detroit Become Human. Like you start to compare this and like look at like the scale of the games, and like yes, it's not AAA. Episodic content like this is kind of dead at this point. It's not really as big of a...
I mean, outside of this and Dark Pictures, like there's not much of it.
And Dark Pictures isn't even really episodic. They're just like, here's
Yeah,
the whole
I guess you're
story,
right.
one shot. It's this much.
And I think they got away from that too, because I heard the latest one was all released at the same time. Like there's still episodes, but it wasn't like
yeah.
one every couple of months. It was just like Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna drop the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think when compared to them, it's on the lesser end, but as a standalone game, I think it's still good.
All right. Well, let's grade this bitch.
The score.
Who wants to start?
All right. Give it a B-.
I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do an 8.0.
What'd you give the first one?
A 10. So 8 still really solid score, but first one just really captivated me like no other game. So
I think it's a game worth getting on sale. I don't think it's worth full price. I unfortunately had to buy this game twice, complete season twice, because my graphics card died on my computer.
I'm gonna give it an 87.
okay.
I enjoyed it, not as much as like the first one, not as much as Road 96, but definitely still an enjoyable game.
It was a good game.
Wait, what did you give the first one? Just for comparison.
92, I think.
Okay.
Stay lovely.
Stay sexy.
Love
Stay
you
safe.
guys.
Yeah, we're at it. We're tired.
Love you. Love you.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, Tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.